committee and that group together. I think yeah build the group, and the unity we want in the group. These are not things that will foster the unity.
Enti mukoshia Dr. Baumia Walisa Hotel no. Enkomo be ne course.
Enkomo dying there. Doctor say ma 2024 say ye hu bi what committee committee report aba dem nsem na nke ka na dey na oyin did dem enkomo ni na no sign can do that. Indeed, because some we there ya obokobio na eja ohia yen support na adwuma dem no oda akona in it yeah to me there no on side here Sunday one na what you can share hen ebien na medical board no obi asama o ka chen do no so or contest bi ente odu ha yenta ahonechi that's all.
Na normally ukoshia penisa no wakasa wie a momma mo response. Into ode na asem to mo animu no mo so ne na mo ka fa ho.
Normally kasa na fi oja odo binum kakra asa na simesi baba simesi baba. And this song we have sung at Kennedy's place, we have sung at Brian's place, and we sang at his place. We didn't sit down to put together any statement. Yaman Crawford sign today, tweet there. This is the official statement we want to issue as our support to X or Y or Z. That didn't happen. And for that thing to come on air, they know. Because but to yan
na mebo Uncle Kwa mamimbusa onti Dr. Baumia de na asem to mo animu wie no na moto nwom we ya Baumia beba se na ya mo
you have people chanting all those things. I mean
okay, but more end of service benefit committee for ne former MMDCC mukoye mu wo obi a odama no a obeje amane no oje amane ni wi na wa ma response me pese me ti asem a mo ka kire Dr. Baumia in response to na this ready or the to mo animu no
okay
amanka sakura nwum na moto ye
okay yeah no kwarsama o si ho hen there okasa wi no they invite questions and then the carry on this was that no question and ampara so yama obiara nkasa and be a question in our face so one young kado yama obi mbema response obiara mbema response yen leader ebakada yen national dean of an Amponsa didn't speak at the place, neither I myself me acting secretary, I didn't speak there. Obi Fufubiara also was not elected to give any assurance or whatever by way of our general approval.
Inti Dr. Baumia kasawe ya na moto nwum no.
Enyum no post no it's intermittent no bo bia pem. Incoming and those things. We did it to every place, everywhere we went.
Uncle Kwam, me no wo kasai video bi twagu o Facebook sisi a. Mo meeting ya mo koko sha Dr. Baumia ya mi eda Facebook sisi a na ne hwehwe di as endorsement na mo koye yo. Amanfo wi wani agi o tese wo pabu afa mo ho so kra.
Oh, uncle.
Eja.
Menyim menji uchimi there. When the corporate chant and those things. But American there, the Maru Kennedy no, the same thing happened. In a the same thing happened. Nobody has written anything out there. This statement, you go reading out. Now our best sign, most members sign right there, or to declare there. This is our intention there. You hear you throw your weight. Asymmetry.
Okay, and so the Nemetia said, Munya bibia official, Munya declaration be official.
Nothing like that.
Okay, but it could be unofficial.
And then what we are saying is that individually, the area of food there, or no, this is what he wants to say. He can go ahead and say it, but not in the name of the group. There, all of us. And that is the problem I am having because as the acting secretary, people are accusing me there. I've shortchanged them because Namuma quite your statement to them in our name. Namuanka Bibi Antrehen. This is what you are going to release and all those things. Nobody has done that.
Okay.
Nobody is against anybody. But we are saying that this thing has not happened. And people should use it to create confusion in our group.
Okay, so beyond this interview, Mube issue a formal statement. More free any such endorsement in one.
As a group, that is what I'm saying. But I am now speaking because the accusations are coming.
So the question is,
we'll go to the rest of the committee members, and together we'll take a decision. But until then, what we are saying is that many of our members are complaining that they haven't sat down to write anything to endorse anybody.
Okay.
Whatever release are about, they don't want us to continue in that direction.
Uncle Kwam, just give me a second. Hold on to see Amame. Me call the other phone line, so na engage a former MC now or Ebuakwa North, Alaji Bodinga. He was at this meeting as well. Me who know video anymore. Your friend Pacho, hold on just a second for me. Alaji Bodinga team can happy soon me moha. Alaji Bodinga team can happy soon me moha. Alaji Bodinga. Alaji Bodinga.
My FD meeting. A friend saying, and a Brian, a friend. Yetininka, Yeti Womukaso Bia explaining the Niama Egu and Senia Obeko. And make us say, and former vice president. Nya Otu and Frank Ama in 2024. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or Safre, all the MMDC, Sampa and Ukre, or Canis, Butaye, any Ninsem, any Niema, a train. Let me catch us about 80% of MMDC, and somewhere a kind or Kayano, a Trasum, Yajitumu. Enti ebinumu ewo ye squadron as MMDCs no eji to mu se ampa opene no de yese ye fa no nko enti enye total endorsement but I can tell you wholeheartedly okasa wie ya o kire ni visi no edan no nyina agi so omo ma kwan se ye bia obi wo adwintre ana question bia obekam. And then you boom said no question, no contribution, any BBR, which means apparently no. Who share your friends endorsement who I see say yeah. So Obi Kasane man a round of applause and unanimously Eka said Yensemono eto. Moreover, it's endorsement by the committee friends association. And no na Emma Edenmo. We have endorsed Baumia. That's it.
Okay. Mr. Kwam, what Alaji Bodinga? Adiana Kafahu.
Madam, I Mama kind of Bodinga can go in there. Osisudo Pepe.
And Yanina Sisusa. We know. Okay.
Osande, Honor Bodinga Kai there, and answer. And I'm kind of that. Yes, I will. I Brian Honum. Brian, I can say, we know. The people, so about the no question, Damara. And see, that Mecano, one jito, ultimately, Baba, what to at all places. But for people to come out and say, sir, the teacher say he's saying that majority of them, 80%, but the thing that was that the release that came was that unanimously to all 220 something MMDCs. And that is what people are giving me problems.
But Alaji Bodinga Kassia, he used the word unanimously. So
now unanimously, no, 80%.
But I say 80% unanimous, I mean, it's
senior.
It goes without saying.
You see, my members are on my neck because Bodinga Nankasa Jitum there. I have been doing most of the secretarial work. So that assessing of unanimous all 220 is the problem I am having.
Okay, Mr. Kwame Busa, for the two encounters Amwenya with the other two, the Honorable Kennedy Japan and Brian Champono, sir, euphoria na muhunu wa Dr. Baumia Hono. What the Totohua in Sunsuye Bidemu ana?
Senior, I think we made the mental videos maybe now. Madam, you be move forward the more. Now, what I share now, we are comparisons, you know.
Other meetings, you know.
So that you can tell whether maybe I mean now American kind of now. Then you make the judgment yourself because to the best of my knowledge, my America they're all places are the same in terms of those euphoria. Yeah. See, Obi no feel okay or the general endorsement in the name of all the others. One woman, you will agree with me there. It will create problem for us. And that is
Bibusa earlier said, now following this, you know, Mubabe issue a formal statement as a group. No matter such endorsement and
in America, that one would not be my singular decision. And say we'll communicate, we'll discuss it as a ESB committee now. Here on the meetings in our the apprehension your members know will be wire stressing about that release now by the decision that we all agree yes take communicated and say, for now all I'm saying is that many of our people are calling and complaining about that thing. We are taking people by surprise and they are not happy.
All right. Alaji Bodinga Timenka, sir, Momunya delegates, and Sisiano, send a proposal, Nibidia Basse, former MMDCs, no young famon Kahona Musmun Twaba. They see a moon shed a new locus bia, and the unanimous and so called declaration, Amakwa Koyama Dr. Bamiano, Ekwesihi. Alaji Bodinga.
Complaint, baby. People are okay. Mental complaint was no.
There's a man for you okay. They are not just a more do come so be any.
Oh, as for my MMDC is it? You two have committed young to your poor choir bar. One my
own Capana, what's a mediana?
Hello?
Too bad.
Oh, I'm.
Zakwa Mami Busa, enti Musha Dr. Baomiano, Ojamukwenye.
Oh, I'm Papa, Bibia, did the thing. More done them, not the man, and say, Mother, so far, people
are happy.
People are okay. Mental complaint was no.
There's a man for you okay. They are not just a more do come so be any.
Oh, as for my MMDC is it? You two have committed young to your poor choir bar. One my Obia man, so oh man, the cookra who complain. And all I can say is that I can't be out of the mind. So far, people have not called to complain, except for this declaration. Means higher issues.
As another one with the delegate to Sudi Nibia.
What's the delegate to food in Nibiara? Delegate to know
because more do chair or more.
Hello,
more do chair or more.
By the way, I am posting a what we had there was Gaio be busy in the I won't cut a young one. It's a Kakabi or the Mayabiano. So far, we are no so the Yadana so.
Now, Moko no book in the Japan Brand Champ on Sujamuquine.
Oh, then Obia Kaka. It's no so you so far, mentioning.
Now, Omomi and Sano, then I need your quenimpa.
Hey, uncle. They say, what's my mind there? Member and either you could release the statement in their on their behalf. It's the made about on Yankasa or not. When I figured this, I'm sure the Makawa Assembly, it's a power.
Martina, you say, why that? There's all copotting one when it's a potting.
I'm a copotino.
Potting the side, I'll be doing this year.
I contractor no funtum no fad no yen to kwa.
EpaHoaDaben.
The forum for former MMDCs for Baumia. We are a forum of 220 MMDCs who have served between 2017 and 2024 during the tenure of the immediate past MPP administration. At this time, that the party has announced the election of flag bearer on the 31st of January 2026, we deem it important to let the rank and file of our party know our thinking and our observations as we choose a leader for the 2028 elections. Following extensive consultation with all aspirants, and after a thorough assessment of their vision, their competence, and commitment to the MPP progress, we are convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the best candidate to lead the MPP today. Today, 220 former MMDCs, comprising men and women who have served at the grassroots level with dedication, have signed onto this declaration, pledging not just our vote, but our time, our resources, and energy to mobilize, to campaign, and deliver a massive support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's candidacy. Our endorsement is not merely symbolic. It is a strategic and operational commitment, with 95% of us having previously served as either constituency or regional executives, some for over 16 years. We possess an intimate understanding of the MPP's structures, dynamics, and electoral needs. We will deploy this experience to ensure Dr. Bawumia's message resonates in every corner of Ghana. Why our endorsement stands out?
We are smelling power.
So you think you're coming back in 2020?
We are smelling power. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
So I'm begging you, I don't have a problem, but to select or rush to go and select a presidential candidate with the intention that he will come and solve the problem for us, I'm of different view. Look, if you want us to tell you the truth, there is nothing wrong with the system that we have. From bottom, polling station, electoral area, constituency, regional, national, and presidential. Why you find something wrong with it is that you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, so be it. It's because we created monsters in the party. There's nothing wrong with the system that we have because we created monsters in the party and allowed them to take decisions anyhow that affect us. We need to solve that problem. Have you changed the monster? You bring it from the top again, you are going to create another monster. Another monster will be created. at your face and say, you didn't support me, you're out. And because he's a presidential candidate, whether he's right or not, the people will accept. Then it goes to region, from national to region. You look at your face is ugly, and you're out. It goes to constituency. I don't like the way you look, you're out. It goes to police station. I don't like you people, you're out. The people that they are going to eliminate, it doesn't necessarily mean they are not good people. And they campaign. And because they express their opinion, which a particular candidate did not like, will now detect. We have seen it. Don't just pretend. We have seen it before. And most of you were to draw a line and causes a disease. We have to admit the truth. We should not be ashamed of yourself asking brothers in the church. Because they didn't listen to you. I'm not being bogus, I'm telling you the truth. Why? Who are those who got the contracts? You got the bill of 800 or something. My understanding is that only 2 people in this party contributed to your program today. Where are the rest? Have you solved all these problems? And you are rushing to go from the top to bottom for some individual's interest. The party's interest is paramount. The party's interest is greater than Japan's interest. It is important, Chairman, I beg you. For the sake of the past, let's do the right thing. As for money, if you do the right thing, I promise you, I can raise the money. I'll raise the money. There are certain projects where we doesn't have money. Even if I don't have money, one phone call, I'll give the $7 million for us to organize it from bottom to top and get the right people. I'm telling you, for the sake of the party, we have to be careful the decisions we take. Today is Japan. You are happy with me. Tomorrow is going to be you. And you use it against you. That is what you feel. So please, I have another finger to my head. I'm begging you to leave. But think through it.
EpaHoaDaben nti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
Baby, when you say first now you been you shut down politics. You see politics for no money or money and your money. But na mumu ebinumu so nti enyina ni agi say ebebo ama o man na akoso na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa lawyer ama o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda nyamishra
Let's go.
Oh my God, be oh my betu bona. Ifri enara, ifri. Memwahamu akwaba eba EpaHoaDaben jumedie eso ene eye wukuada the 25th day in the month of June. And you know, so we are in the year 2025. Need I remind you? Not sure. Medine Bismark Brown, who share me now from me BB Major so. Bet me so from me B Brown. Nina ye pepe. Mene Renaud Yawajiman producing the show today, and as always, supported by Joel Sanko. Joyce is ensuring we are streaming live this afternoon. Ewe baby will be a memwahamu akwaba. That was say. Sir, what can you count of favorite radio stations at home? That was say so what can you do media count of favorite programs at home? EpaHoaDaben. We have exciting interviews coming up in area. We have a lot of updates to give you as well. And don't forget, we bring you the best of analysis and so. Until you are in for a good experience, share me Facebook Live. Said the Watimin can radio see, but I never heard menim na mwa but I never heard. Ewo Facebook. Na oba Facebook enye so be menim keke. Na mumu no do wano betu nkomuni mu bi. Yaji wa tu. Ya ma wo akwaba. Eba dwumedie no so. Na ewie ma membusa wapo mu tesen. Boko de wo ho ye. Ahoden wo ho. Adwuma no so koso de. Memo aba mu wate. Menim se dene. Menim se problems ne challenges bi abade. But enunti na wo ho. Unwu ye ne kire se you have problems to solve. Onyamenje won kwanfiri wonsam means that there are challenges you have to resolve. Ya dinipa ba asasi so me resolve challenges. Life is full of problems. Life is full of challenges. But you know the beautiful thing about the challenges of life? Near eye fe na eye nika ewo abrabo mu konana eho ene se wadi wutirim na wasi nkete na challenge na ba na wanwane na wamboto na wampagya wonsanka se urade mawie ye nie na momuo no obegina wona so na wa face ya confront wo challenges na watimi afam afi eho na hu se emu ayedu eho na hu se besuma baby. Now life without challenges there enya brabo abrabo problems in him enya brabo because bibia no wa test or resilience sanya ma we nyina ba eba be test yen ehye ye dene ebini mu ho a omahoden ni omo kra de mu nya du nti asem to omo a na omo pekura ku omo ho ebini mu aye bi osen no ho akonfo because asem ya to no pacho mi busa o asem mempa na to ebi ntu obi da no o de tenase necessary asem mempa na to wa ebi ntu obi da usikani bi tenase wo ho usikani bi tenase na ne yemu ye pa na oben obo ade nyankopon so pa oyobi ana odanyame akoma so pa na oye odefo ne nsem obi wo sika enye sika nko no wo no sanso wo influence wo man ana otimu so but sa wo na mo a wo koba nyina ne tirimu fan na koma mu kama no na nkofo bi to no ho nchia wa akiri ho na saa nchia na ano wo mo to no na eye nchia bi a wo mo to a eba ba be pusu no in one day ohre na yamwa nyina in one day ne manyina wuye in a day investment or when nyina hye ne yere kura ka che ne se na wo kura de nkura na ne ma tutu nyina akire wo da so sum nyame do nyame we kura se a kansi nyankopon na wu na ko ba bia wasire oni tirim wasi wo musa challenges atome wo musa ne me yeskani na so ne me sesi fom me free sura be hwe fom se tam wo musa ne nipa asre me wo musa ne nipa twetwe me wo musa ne yemumi biem yehumi kura se me nana kane na me osika do na so pa se me do me nyankopon empare me jinane na so and he was restored. This is a story of Job. Patrol problem now woman no eso change sa Job story ya na e na to wo yayi wadi wadwuma mu e na wo kwa kwanu madura ku hu bra nyabotre no obi fie a ni bibia wo mu nyina hye ono kra te ho awo yayi wadi wadwuma ni yayi wadi wadwuma mu anada adwuma we no nkwane adwuma menku hu menyo hu bone awade na gu enti na wo se wu koku hu yi da bi menye sa because obi wo ho awade no kro won wari bi da wasu hu a bi ma wo de wako hunu se ne atie gu na aguo kai se nya won konsu no akwa awade na anye ye patrol. It is no excuse to end your life. It is no excuse to give up on this life. Ebe share unkran enawie. Mesra wada. Tie min sami na nhye unkran wai. Be minim ni ato, minim baabi akwahye, minim amane a ato. Ebi kura nipa yi wama. Na wani da wo mo so. Se wani mu de. Se de tie bia ne mayama wo mo penti. Wo mu nyimi ma. Enso wono mu a wode won sa fidi wo mo na ne wo mo ka won sa. Esa na nipa tie. Memo abamu mu. Kan wo sisi so. One say ewiase no near or promise wo a rosy life wow. Because there is nothing like a rosy life. Even the rich, the affluent, and the influentials. Womumpo. Ole noko. Unim he. Womumpo challenges in your problems. But no one is giving up today. No one is giving up tomorrow. Look, in this ship ayetimu, no one is giving up. We will all go and finish the journey. I came to encourage you this afternoon. Pick yourself up. Challenge yourself. What should there moon bear 1 week near what soon bobbina? What ferimpo so be penny because of a samo at all? But your men kuho or can say I shall see any dear bebo. Our rejay any dear bebo. A jumana wa lusunu dear bebo. A nipa be you wamao. Obi be chan trato swam when ya buy a man yo. And not your one fan cameo. Or say the righteous shall fall. Or say shall. Naturally say, I hear any day a constant. But what can I we or can't say so many we I'm now so Sasuka said now obesa sorry. And when you hear me no, it is not the beginning, it is the end. Now obesa sorry. O beginning ne se wash from. Nemo mu ne ema hwiase no ennane na. Memfa hwiase enye na. Se ene obepeja wuti na wama wo home ne so. Na wankasa wa encourage wo ho. O say and David encourage himself. Bra. Obi mama encourage you enne me pesa wankasa. Woso wo ho. Challenge wo ho. Tell yourself. Sinene na me ye me hui. Na den na me hu basa sa. Because of be man na we Germany nti. Ene ne me hu aye tan say. Debbie, this is not me. Come to that realization. Say who di wo abro nti wankasa, pick yourself up out of the mud. And chest out. Have a smile on today. Kodo ko dware, shawata de pabi to perfume papa bi gu ho, ne sia bontene. more wurem now so sre. Let your enemies know that they thought it's all about wash a form. Now so apie. Ewie ma wen hye unkura wate. Na ni ato bia kai se no ni e chance ato obi. Na nipa no so afiri mu afidi a won so be firi mu afiri. But enye kasa keke. It takes action. You cannot come out of your problems just by confessing it. You must move. You must take action. Move out of your comfort zone and area. Ebinimu wo a awreho ne your comfort zone. Obinimu wo do mo a konanna adwendwene ne your comfort zone. Obehunu da bia nanimu mobomobo mo saa. It encouragement ba kokura ninimu. Ehwo ye ne comfort zone when of our some mood no mu a or you okay. Me dwene me ho. Me de me mpa me ho asem o. Enipa yemi ama na wo to nwom ababuo nwom saa. Ehwo ye ne comfort zone. Ene braba bia ni je wo, braba bia excitement wo and challenge yourself so betimi aye. Oba Facebook live oba be hunu yen. Braba kan busua no ho. Joel for the Samco. Yeah. You was studio hacho. I dey work adwuma no from absentia. Akwa Dubai crowd produce show. Wait me no. Ewe ye din komo ahodo. Menya ntie se ena wie omampani dada je ekufo. Watutu bia mane ne party MPP for papa. Akra fanche wo mo. I will bring you updates on this matter. Don't forget, then beba and near governance, political issues are trending, and of course, geopolitical issues are also so. Joel Leshen will be here with that one. Also, yeah, Wofa. Now when you said from 1st July electricity tariff ne ebesan kosoro na. Are you aware say from 1st July PURC are approving a 2.45% tariff increment ebe take effect on Ghana's Republic Day 1st July 2025. We the second quarter review PURC na sanya ade na kwa say Ghana for muntie me ye na munyina yie pa because from what we have seen from the previous administration baba be si aban fufuro we no se bia mo fa mo ni nto fo mo hwe ya every quarter bia ye to electricity tariffs. Every quarter bia PURC any utility companies initiate na omo review tariff regime no na omo ahwese esefata se yetumu a na afiwe hyase second quarter ni first quarter abesene second quarter mu ene ye wo no na sa second quarter PURC asan aye review ni biem na omo ye review no omo ato electricity so by 2.45%. Nyamin chade anka nsuo. Na utie PURC for reasons intia omo amasa upward adjustment we are. One patch say it was informed by a projected average inflation rate of 20.67%. Almost sounds so exchange rate no. Na almost say Ghana cedi ne dollar no exchange rate no. And you know, interbank rate na 10 cedis to $1. A common reasons into omoto tariff new emuno, and it's quite interesting. Almost sounds to say an increase in the weighted average cost of gas. Na sa variable see and PURC for regional so eka say electricity bono yentumu by 2.45%. Mene wo kasei GRA enso so impose a 15% VAT on non-life insurance. Now, with regards to electricity, mibusa say, inti sa quarterly review review bianso ebe bia means an increment, sustainable na Ghana yebetimi. Every 3 months bia yebeto electricity bill mo. Every 3 months bia yebeto electricity tariffs mo. And this is part of the IMF's conditionalities. Which conditionalities young Ghana for Nigeria to say we believe said that is the way to go. Into every 3 months bia o budget who say every 3 months what the kakrabe kanye what the electricity. Question you say we any say can we survive this quarterly review ana? Into yebeko ni say 3 months bia. Na mi bu say dollar ni cedi na yonko fenti ne petrol bu akofom. Why is it not impacting and reflecting in tariffs no? Why? Yatete petrol so, yatete diesel so, yatete gas so. Because ene cedi ne nya hoodene. Adentina the dollar component eka variables are PURC for ehwe ede to tariffs mu no. Enya impact, enya insunsuanso bia ewo tariff review no so. We will talk to some experts and find out why. Why? Yeni enti ase. And answer there are other factors a way sway more than a exchange rate no. Mami musa wo a wutie me na no ewe say. Obetimi accommodate sa quarterly review yi. 3 months bia ye beto so obetimi. Can we take it? Now wontimi e den na wo ka kira man no. Bra Facebook live na ebe commenting on this matter. Kira wadwene wo ho, kan wadwene wo ho na ema aban no ehunu sene wo so wadwene etie. And we'll be talking to an energy expert this afternoon na yahwe sa policy na eda ho no and whether we can sustain it. And the current upward adjustment justified na ebe sansem ni di eho enkomo. Members of the minority wa mrashebedwafie enra omo press conference. Na press conference a minority ni ye no. Efa na no Bank of Ghana workers bako be 100 ayeyi wo mwedi. Minority for ni say omo demand full reinstatement of sa workers na yeyi wo mwedi no. Enra omo press conference munti omo bi.
The minority in parliament stand shoulder to shoulder with these workers. And we will not waver. We demand, 1, immediate reinstatement. The Bank of Ghana must restore every single dismissed worker to their rightful position without any further delay. Their appointments were lawful, their terminations were not. 2, accountability from the governor. The governor of the Bank of Ghana must face Parliament and explain this heartless abuse of power. You are not above the law, and you will answer to the people. 3, action from labor authorities. We call on the Chief Labor Officer, the National Labor Commission, and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, to intervene immediately to protect these workers, uphold their rights, and stop this lawlessness. 4, legal redress. To the dismissed workers, we say the law is your shield. Under Article 33 of the Constitution, we have the right to seek justice in the courts. We stand ready to support you. 5, parliamentary resolve. The minority will push a motion for a full parliamentary inquiry with unrelenting vigor. We will expose this injustice, work tirelessly to reverse these terminations, and hold the government accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to end by saying this is not just about these 100 workers. It is about the soul of our republic. We must choose between the rule of law by degree, Parliament must stand firm, institutions must act within the law, workers must be protected.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Dom kuma e wamra shebedwe fie e na omode sansem ya to edwa omoso omo fresh raj enhwe na adwumayefo a omo Bank of Ghana yeyi omodie no omo hwe na omo nka omo asem emfa ma omo se Bank of Ghana governor no emfa maranya adwuma o se omo appointment ne de eye legal na emomu no omo dismissal no eye unlawful. Well, we'll put this matter in its proper context na yedi eho enkomo. We over Facebook Live ade a obetimi ede wano ato yenkomo no emu ebie na wetimi adjoin in with your thoughts, your comments as well as your views. Kai say odo messages no eba na oche wo kasa ho na wachire wadwene ewo eye yen hyehyeye emu se be ya yenyina da ye ni beje ye ho adwenkyere dwumadie nti wo ba kyere wadwene emu obi mbo o kasa bo anhye oyem ka wadwene na kyere wadwene na emu mani die kwan so enya temdidie asem 989 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie na mamenko Facebook Live na monomo a medikan ba ede mo messages egu ho no menkenkan bi efama etiefo Wilson entry joining live on Facebook. Wilson says, good afternoon, BB. You always encourage your listeners. Thank you for the good job. Medasibe Breminia. And I hope Sessa encouragement here made bro in so oh mana sinki memo abemumu abrabomu shonhodin na kintine wo ho. Paul Amenosoji said NDC is the future for Ghanaians. NPP never again. Na owie no dia kan ho say good afternoon. Ayiko and I wish you God's protection. Mensa Pillar 2, Eddie Free, okay, or no the freedom kwa benya no diaba. Or say the NDC government has started promoting LGBTQ. Hey, Sam George, reset in Penny. Special greetings to Hajia Safia Mohammed. Or say next NPP National Women Organizer. And Honorable Naomi Owusu, Greater Accra Regional Women Organizer, hopeful. And we if Mensa Pillar 2 ho and or de aba Musa Abattoir. And so joining live on Facebook. Musa, good afternoon to you. So Ghana appears to be the only country where perceived criminals boldly use all sorts of legal acrobatics to frustrate ongoing investigations. The decision by those implicated in the SkyTrain scandal to run to the courts in an attempt to halt the investigation is nothing short of a deliberate move to delay the process. This trend is worrying. It undermines accountability and makes a mockery of our justice system. In a serious democracy, accountability should not be such an expensive commodity. We Efri Musa Abattoir ho ena ode ebaye. Also obetimi edo messages about live on Facebook. Jalov Sola, where have you been, bro? It's been quite a while. Jalov, thank you so much for joining us in area. Na someone say good afternoon or come for BB. Na komono and share that massa and na manim he ya. But a common beba pa nyabutrema me. A common de beba. A ho ensemo and no diaba. Unso betimi a journey in Jumedie live on Facebook. Na oda wadwen kire aba. Issues a group no so and area yedi hon komo. And na medical abobo biso e dia kire wo minority in parliament and press conference omo ye. Oma semoni se adwumayefo a yafa wo mo adwuma mu Bank of Ghana abanda da ne famra kwan so fa wo mo enne yeyi wo mo adi na omususuye ne se etia wo mo fa ahodie na wo se aban hwe na wo ka omo asem ema wo mo in fact wo se hraje hwe na onka omo asem ema wo mo na ene wie nsu ye hwe beto general se the New Patriotic Party efre wono mu a omude womudin abeto odwa abontene se omo pe franka tuni debia no edie na omoto nsa frɛ womo a na eye kokobo ene eye afutuo ena party mpanimfo edema womo se be ya omo behwe omo anamuntu oni omo nkasa yeye in a similar fashion party ne the statement bi aba abonten a wo kire se abronye DC oye bono regional chairman Emma NPP amanyuko no party no a refer ne nsem kanye bi ama eye the disciplinary committee sɛ wɔn ntoto n'ano na sɛ asotwe bi wɔ hɔ a ɛwɔ sɛ wɔn de ma na wɔn hwɛ party mmerɛm na wɔn fa saa asotwe no ɛma no na ana ewia nso yɛdi ɛyɛ NPP ɛho nkɔmɔ paa ɛnura meeting a ɛkɔɔ so Kempiski owura Kwame Pieni edi mu tintiman there were a good number of very heavyweights of the NPP a wɔn kɔɔ sɛ dwumadie na sɛ together with wɔn mu a wɔn ɛpɛ sɛ wɔn tu frankaa ɛma NPP amanyɔkuo no. How that meeting went, I'm sure say ene wate ho mpoproye ama ene flag bearers no anase hopefuls ni nyina kasa kyerɛ wo mo echitaefo sɛ omo hwe mo kasa yie ewe ebedi nkomwe ni abɔ ho nkomo. Electricity tariffs akosoro by 2.45% and ebe take effect on the 1st of July 2025. Shenunso say every quarter you review electricity tariffs and debianso ye reviewer eyade a ekosoro. Question busa ne say na sidi na hoɔden na enya no ade na en reflect our utility prices yi mu a electricity de se ekosoro a enie ɛho nsɛm ɛna ɛna wie ye di na onso betimi de wano atomu bi na wabɛkyerɛ wadwene ɛwɔ saa ensɛm no enyina da ɛho ya mask metwen wo na me de me nkomo na ɛba no ahyehyɛ so na mamenko back to Facebook. Seth Opoku Tham said, good afternoon, baby. You are my mentor and I love you. I love you back, Seth. Thank you so much. Making me your mentor gives me a lot of pressure. But ebe mi eni na ya boama bibia konkan. Asisco Boche said, good afternoon, baby. The NDC is the only hope we have in Ghana. My regards to Honorable Dr. Othniel Ekokwenu Ekumfim Rashibedweni. Yada sese onso wadwene na ode messages aba na wakyerɛ wadwene ɛwɔ nsɛm foforo ɛho onso betimi ababe na wabejoin EpaHoaDaben Facebook family no, and as you join you do remember say ode o messages no ebeba. Don't just be a silent viewer and just watch and enjoy the show but bomode nefa wanoto nkomo no mu ebie. Now, I am picking up an information. We are checking to see, say, my producers are working the lines to talk to lawyers of the suspended Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu. Titi maybe one from Memua Boba. Na yenya enhunumu no kreno, yabetwentwen so kakra. But ye monitor. Semino ka say, ye akwa pie mu ewo hotel bi e won kran ha sa hotel no e friend Holiday Inn tete se ahwa bear within this hour no press conference kesi bi be koso from there na no kre se ni etete no kre say the suspended Chief Justice will be addressing the nation this afternoon na wabekasa ediane ne focus. Interesting times. Yaw, brethren. Beka de ne tum na me monkomo na edam animu no opening kese na tim anim srawa. Be pia tum ntem na me for me foundation na me fan konkudi sa enkomo yi. We're dwelling very much on the new patriotic party na yahwe matters arising. We're told say earlier today His Excellency the former President John Ejekum Kufuor enso Asia Party mpanimfo ni bi na nkasae no papa asechire ne se ama waka ne boso asempa de akire ono a ne party osona manyuko a manfo ka se sei ne yehwehwe mpanimfo a wo party mu to mo nan fancy form na wo mo enkire kwan se be ya party no ebehunu kwan na ye de ani di sansem ni nyina achi na yede san komoni nyina so e de aba me kai o se e de na konso beba so isane say we need to update you as far as eniema trending on social media are concerned and over Facebook live abra Facebook na be hwedwumadi a omampanin dada je Kufuor ene one party for di be hemfoni no video no na etwaguo no but I need the audio please. I need the audio na yetimi a follow enti over Facebook Bohunu former President John Ejekum Kufuor clad in a blue, black, beautiful shirt. Waje neche eja akra wɔte ne wheelchair mu no ne ma kasa na enche me the voice no so bɛka ho de ama wo na yɛtumi follow nsɛm a former president yi ɛka kyerɛ ne party onim sɛ ɔmampanin dada gye ekufoɔ sɛ asɛm no emu ɔhye sɛdeɛn ne bu afu sɛdeɛn a wɔkasa kora asedeɛ wɔ n'anim na it is clearly showing here and we'll get into the details of that na yɛde san komo ni nyina ba ya wo de bra studio na wona akɔ dwumadi no bra na bɛbɔ ya amane na audio ni nyɛ ready abɛbɔ ya amane na yɛhunu ne yɛyɛ na yɛnkɔ yɛ nim ɛyɛ sa be de aba be si akyire hɔ no monkeka mo ho monkeka mo ho akyire ofo monkeka mo ho ntemtem why na adwuma no nkɔ so ntem ya wo de bra inside bra studio na yɛ ni nkomo no monye audio no ho adwuma wona akɔ representing Happy FM nsɛm a papa kufuo de to dwa no bra na be kyire yemu na yɛhwɛ but we are hearing say the former chief justice justice in fact the suspended chief justice Justice Gertrude Tokono will be addressing I beg your pardon the nation today ebi keka se oba be announcing a resignation ebi so keka se ebi ana obe wine sem fufure ni e de akyere Ghana for but yenim the agenda of the press conference no we won't dare hazard any guess but we have people checking on this thing for us yaw tenase na fa de twere ba bia ansa na ehwe nkomo no ene ukọ dwumedi kese da Facebook yi former president Jekufu address NPP4
yes
what I've picked up ni say na papa kasa no straight and direct one mean so west kra boyemu dwumedi no kọ so we he ebre ben na ensem ben na former president kekan
right Bibi mamuha na enenso mabechia anabo kese ba ko via
minyamo ni din
I don't want to bear that anabo kese ba ko via eni be din ko
that's right
and said you will share infoni ni bi on Facebook
yeah
and after election 2024 me who MPP Jumedia
yeah
well organized na enya dignitaries said the me hu no
kukudamfo no hu
almost the heartbeat of the party by na o hwe ahokeka na ewo ho no a obi eka bibi yenia enwan central for ba ko ka sem bi say I see the MPP breathing
okay I see
central ni na kan say I see the MPP breathing na Osha said the omusi ye omu so omu bie omu book bi omu school bi omu launch
okay
for people to understand omu
ideology. So it's more like an ideological institute. Okay.
Omu ebiano na omu draw say your friend no ka say oh na we dey omu mrantie nka mu konkoye say adwuma we ye na kire no sa dwini hu say school na omu ebie no has to do with the party and party ideologies, and dying for the party and being a loyal member of the party.
Almost friend of being a patriot.
Being a patriot. In fact, ene, ushe mampeyi dada akufo kasa. Professor Michael Kwe kasa.
Okay.
Na otachi on the nerves of the party. Eka ekokudru baby a party no omuko free any di omu aba bewie any say di omu si hu omu nei o say ni script prepare man on you
on kind
ya man 20 minutes but the 20 minutes na edema Professor Michael Kwe no or the ka asem office ebetimi aboama party no enu nyama koyi o kire say party MPP no nko na ebetimi aboama Ghana yi enu na wo ideas ni nyina nanso se omu be ko machi no makokai omu nananom omu nuanom penimfo hye ase a ede tu hu ache ani ahofama ede bone fefire hye party no a ebeboa omu asen se de omu si yi omu ntiene o schooli omu ewo party no ko fare ba ani ne ewo omu nyina na owie na mampanyin da akofo enso gi simpie no kasa no for a very long time. Me tea say obi kano said the tie na oye real no wa kuro nani
Ede achire MPP for no ache.
So what's a kasa bi say ache?
Me take kasa bi say obi me say at a point okasa na party manage na ho no. Omo aye din obi okra ne nanim amoamoa. En asem na nyede. Enyede. Osi that's empty true ni say. Party ni nya party a. Obi say me ba mu no. Me ba be ye party adwuma be ye party ba. Ni interest nko na obehwehwe. Osi wo mu dodo no na o ye wo training sa. Mu dodo na mo pre a mo pese mu di party nanim no. Azimu na nika. Mu bi no ebi a ene mo bra bot sa abrofo ma. Abrofo abrabo.
Sa
oni wabusua wo yere no ma bia nkwada mienu miensa wo si party no wo do party no che obia o watch man na o tu achiro ne yere no bia mienu miensa o nkwada be 15 10 edekro sa nipa no wumu no so pe party nanimu adi. So if you refuse to respect that person or a party member who is an ordinary person or party member, if you cry a number of votes, ebeboa party ni pakro wo bi che.
Asumumu.
Edema grassroots any ade no.
Anyhow.
No se chirika chiro mu. MPP na etisa no sa na mo de ya mo ho Victor Ozunu type. Ema ka kakra bi na nkamodi nkunim. Mu cheye. Ema so you have that history. Nene se party man twabo mo hu say no de. Ono man panyin dada akofo ka kire ni pen ka say se party ni betimi agina ne na so pa awini election e bi ana 2028 e betimi possible. Na anko base wo mu ka wo ho abomu dia. Bibi man panyin dada akofo say ni omunyae.
Yentie ne kasa ni bi.
Declare from here that I belong to
EpaHoaDaben.
Dr. Afrajan, who used with the Electoral Commission. For he who said elections are won at the polling station. I gave you the analogy. I live in my fine bungalow. My children, they are all grown, they've gone. When it comes to voting, perhaps it's just my vote I can go and cast. But the man at the gate, the watchman, has 2, 3 wives, got 10 children. If I do not secure his trust and understanding to support me, you think I can win that election? No. So grassroots. Let everybody feel counted. And it's not a matter. It's not just a matter of going to dish out money. It's not just dishing out money. Let the people trust that you, when you have chance, you serve the good interest, inclusively of all of us, humanity. That's the central issue, the central belief we talked about with the what they believed in was common humanity who must be respected and be given dignity of humanity. If we do this, then I tell you we have no problem. And the institute that I see this occasion to launch, I pray God should bless it and should be an institute to impart deeper awareness of what getting involved in party means. It's all about power. Power, if you don't have power, you are dead. That's what it is. So you must know the nature of power, must learn how we get everybody in the community to appreciate that we are capable when entrusted with power. To use it to serve the general public, to make life better and happier for all of us as humans. This is what the institute should be about. So I bless the institute and I use this occasion to learn. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Okay, so this is just about the time I now all wrap it up in the Kasano. We'll bring you other ones, no, na yetimi follow and some but Nina say Papa Kufo de a foot to a party for.
Your menu. They themselves admit say we chew many. Me say, Okaya catch me say, and now your opponents ne say your tribe will be party, but the young cry ye ho. Ebe mu obi atimi aka ye ho asem bone. Ebinum kra ne kra ba be wuram say religion nyina be wuram. Political party ne ko fare bai enimdiefo wom anyansafo wom womu akọ school abobe wo nyansa e wonimdie o say enimdie ni nyina no ensem hunu. When the party cannot organize itself, or see NDC is able to organize themselves better. He mentioned it. My penyekufo, or say the NDC for you better than them, and he said the party omuno they able to organize well. But the MPP for the say MPP for the Yabing therefore and so common organization. And tell one say me interest, a asmesi interest, a way interest. Na said there we see titibo hono na sense you talk. Me we machine that's in so at a point ebinum ebo omunsam dia so na nima say ebi nyane age microphone everyone. Yes, papa kasa we dey me videos ni bi a unofficial show. Bibi enye ade aye watwi wo mu anim wo de anobo ha say ono to as an MPP person no asema ka I'm sure ebe ne there because ebi a ono so from baby a enye bi adi no o man penja da ko nsemu a mo de ye wo mu ho a akoye otan ebinum wo party no a omu obi aye adwuma ye recognize no wo so no onya adwuma ye wa ba mu no 30 years. 30 years. Inti mabuno no enfu omu nyim. Omudo omu jimu no omu nya ni da so se ebeduru omu so omu so anya bibia enye se omu benyina bonkokra. Nemom leadership no ti ase ahunu se enne enkofo bu omu party mu omu modern mo eso ani. Ose aboa na eso omu asene. Na omutimi ko omanuma enne na chese omu ye party. Na nye party ni se obi se me na me ye se me na okay me de agimai. Na me na me de agimai. Na say it should be about me. No. And yes, sir. I was waiting as you free. I know at as you could see. No market come on some boom. No more the co many Benyana go my Jamaican. Yow, mammy. Unim say, we know a young man. Nankos almost son as yeah. I need now. Pattern machine calling the Mwakadadas are those days. And Omwasa chini hunumuni. Oza wa chu hunumuni ya. The obi But bihunu hono. I could understand. And net organization, I'm sure say
after today the name best sound.
No, there be me fan say omube build it on it from na ebeboa wom. Fi say omu e ba ya no bi. And utie say we need to say my son to form after the event. Yeah. A man for party for nanka say
comments omo
yeah ho sa na ye den. The attire that comes in term. Who do a political party be
anyway. Well, the NPP has survived several of such circumstances. Question is will they survive this one too? In my studio in area, a former member of parliament, Emma Menchia North constituency, the Honorable Collins Owusu Amankwa. Honorable Memoawo Ahamu Akwababa EpaHoaDaben Jumedieso.
Yeah, Sefa.
Within the Bismark Brown.
Bismark, sorry.
Minim say only Sefa several encounters into I quite get it. But exactly. We are Boko there.
Boko Bismark.
Na Neminu Eken and I'm a person me no shall say free up. Meet Papa Kufo. I mean, said the sound bite I no come about grassroots. And or the Kakranswa can about other issues or address here. Oh, now would you medina CB? Wadama, from what perspective, Papa Kufo Kasa no analyze here. No or patch the impact to the party for.
So, but that's any akonya Mamenchia Ghana for Menchia Happy FM Juma for and what here for? Actually, for so I almost share. abefo for the tintan so internet. Na menchia New Patriotic Party for muti ewie nyina. No kre ene dwumadi no. Mebo party pen for abaso se omo pow entuma kese etisa se my voice na accelerate nti ebe kosro.
Me abehwa.
Say
why you say diesel engine no sha sia kakra
accelerate but things enough in
that's right.
Nti me hwe said the dwumadi no si call ye na ya pow ye Patriotic Institute.
Sana mo fresh school no.
Okay.
Patriotic Institute.
It's about policy and ideology center.
Okay.
Say center right. Nti idea mejitum pa say ye bi akwanya de beto ho de ama party for ma omo person mo te party no asiye party no fare by ene baby a ya bedrun baby a person ye de ko party no ni nyina so okra ne say because party no values bi enana our old Professor Michael Quay say the party is fashioned on principles and values. Na Yura John Ejekum Kufo Ghana Mampanyini Dada. In fact, we are there. Wama just will be afo.
I see.
Say Asante Kasansa say Wama yafo because a futu na or the amaye no. The crane say ye take honest introspection of what he said. I can't say mina mai.
Okay.
Near the Bayer Juma.
Bebuamo.
From where I sit, I'm very confident that MPP bedding kunim 2028.
Okay.
Someone Yura John Ejekum Kufo kan ye no. Yeah, a dim wakotene bakopa ye. Say quite be near Befaso a bit me are reconnected with the grassroots, with the people. Now yen risk being irrelevant in the scheme of arrangements as a political party. Into some more do ye. Now it's about the people. Or train yadwene amaye or train yadwene si bibi so say party no be ye din party no be ye namoa nipa no aboa no se bi wo ne takra
ene man yekese
no so ne man no ye hu nti se enipa no ye more accommodating na no na ema party no etimi ya grow na nasem no kan ye interesting me reconcile with statement made by the late Buzia.
Okay.
No what they found from him we say a key na obi but you see President Kofi more can say be a ye crutching ni your doctor or your lawyer or school who you say na sebi or garden boy and I say watchman now no so bonebra maybe o edu aware mienu bi okra miensa nkoto aba ofi okra o no bebitivu asa nipa no so nsan se votes no wone ho no so one ni tifie na wan fa ni die ama no a obetwe ne ho afiri baabi a wogina
okonso one ne dom na ekọ
na o flipi asem na okan ye na be de kosi buzi ade ne so a the man was referring to procreation
because o kanu ehona na madwen nam
acha say
so watchman onu obi o yiri ba ko mienu bi kura miensa the ma be 10 15 wo wa ku school krachi ni doctor o yiri ba ko nkwada mienu pe o tifie kakrakam.
I have followed President Kofi for many years. Sometimes he speaks in parables. Until literally no the menu mask or chair say literally
but
baby am free and
we veil na
wa kan yasem
semen wakam
asem na waka no mintimi kan no ofidie so
saa wasem wo bebiri ana mo ware dodo
mintimi kan no ofidie so but what twe adwena si bibi so and it's true.
What is true?
Say neja ono akra so kan bibi say behave to say
abrofo
Europeans what you say just say onyo wo ba ko bia bɛnti we onyane mamie no bi a wasɔre so wate ase ba wobɛto sɛ no obi gye bɛdo dwan ma more votes ma ho yɛ din ɛnɛ wode ayɛ yi sɛbi brɛnto asɛm na ɛnɛ deɛ ɛdeɛ obi anya baako bi ɛno ano no wasɔre so abi o asɛm no kani mu du
ɛbɛyɛ wadwen so ɔka vote ho asɛm
me deɛ sɛ me di n'akyi akyi nti asɛm no waka yɛ nsɛm bebree ɛbɛ party no bɛtumi grow you bɛtumi reconnect with the people because ɛyɛ power to the people sɛ wopɛ sɛ party no gyina ne nan so a adeɛ ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ no sɛ kwan bɛ na bɛfa so a wobɛyɛ nneɛma na yɛ more attractive ɛnɛ no nneɛma asesa ɛnɛ mehwɛ modern politics a yɛyɛ no a nneɛma bebree asesa wohwɛ the young people no nneɛma a wɔn hu no is different from the way a bi a yɛyi hu
exactly
and then one of the biggest constituencies
EpaHoaDaben
ɛyɛ social media a kyerɛ sɛ wohwɛ nneɛma ɛkɔ so wɔ hɔ platforms ahodoɔ na wohwɛ the kind of orientation nkwadaa na ɔmo gu so wɔ ne wɔ no sometimes different from the way a yɛyɛ nneɛma
exactly.
How do we align with their mindset? It's important as a political party. Nti ene media bitie yempanifo tichu mitie former president John Ejekum Kofo na mitie Professor Michael Kwei no. They me fefri mu ne se mpanifo se yesi obi atie. Na se party fo ni betie ensemu a I'm telling you.
In your view, although a party back, our elections Nibia, our represented the good people of Mensha North or Mashebe Jeffie, Aquaco was in Baby Atino or her party more. What is the key problem, Pa?
Well, I think the problem in the party as we speak, unity of purpose.
Okay.
That's the main challenge.
Because you see,
a major challenge because you see, so if you are engaging in unity of purpose, penfoa obia person will be the party name no. So would do be at the outdoor no. Obehwe positives. Obehwe strength. What project. In doing so no, on undermine the other competitors. What you say? Say wo de any say wo the platform be si ho. Na be gu panyini bi opeso be too franka ehun fia. You undermining the very principle a hold the party need together. Because in your obiara na se bi otimi de boneche. And in your obiara so no nyame na se po a oja de che on tentem.
Okay.
Oh. Enti yen na wo se ekitafo no ye de hye yentim se it's not out of place. Say empanimfo no bi ebenya kokodro say yen ye pese ye betu franka. It is a me say me fa Dr. Baumia. Oh, me share Dr. Baumia. Sebi the positive, the strength. Me share the affability. Very affable politician. Accomplished economist. Inti say ni pa me projecting na me ton Dr. Baumia. Me we are membre. What you say? If I be a Dr. Brian the champion.
Okay.
When you say, well, a very young enterprising, and I say enterprising young man, or a successful entrepreneur, or a business magnate. I mean, when it comes to information technology, he's one of the best brains in this country. Bank of Food, and no, it is MPP. That's the bottom line. If I be a Kennedy or in Japan, Kennedy or in Japan, were demonstrated over the years. So a very successful businessman. In fact, we are more beer also Udibia or Moka. What is the mention? Or Wakukudro beer, Ninano, so what's it projectina? Obey no. Crofo beton. Offer a duchum, an accomplished educationist. Say we're very deep when it comes to general governance, education in general. Say ni pa we MPP ni. Nti say meta educhumachi a me projecting no. Me fa kwabna je Japan. Astute politician who share the contribution to our party and the nation. Clearly, Utim se Kwabnano Usi Moache.
Okay.
One of the finest engineers in this country. Were you MPP?
EpaHoaDaben.
Eti me dinachi me wie no me ton na me mre. Me Fabia ya oboama. Menim ya the knowledge in law.
Okay, Honorable Patrick Yabuama.
Meaning,
what the need to two flag bearers no?
Oh, come, sir.
Sir.
I don't know.
We need be a minimum.
Oh, so come.
Mente, sir.
Oh,
mente.
Inti me person say Dina a crop up no. What yes, said Dino, and I'm able. Say the honorable are there anymore. Say no. Declaration of intent or non funny dear man. But we know say projecting sanity. May the BB share party for any team say some penny for no. They all qualify. What you say? Inti say strategy ne say me nya platform na me be good doctor ba o me hu fi na ye hu say me ya ade a. Say onim ne ye wo ye. And no na ye wi a ye bre no because internet.
But is it not
never forget?
Is it not Ubibeka say a very tight rope to travel, especially when impenifo ade omu hu esi ho nyina ye. Omu nyina so anya akwanya no asom in various portfolios of paying. Say akwanya na beto no. One of the things obey so at the beton or candidate in say obey home modern bo or mumre or yo baby o ma hoden wo. Na say obi ehwe baby amre o yo wa. Eya na mpempi no nkofo kan say o good the other candidate no ehu fi.
Mayor no ne dean, mayor no
the failures.
No nya didi atem. Ye wo to say the okay. Sebi you say 1 man's meat
is another man's poison.
Yes. And you know, and no now who say there's a sharp dichotomy between obi ahode and sebi obi mreye. Nti o mreye no ebetimi ye obi ahode so ti be ye o mreye. What you say? Because sometimes from where you are coming from, obi so timi gina so etimi kasa ne ma men ko pushi ho. But o kan se wan kan yi a ubewie na asa be ye edem ama
party no.
That is the point. It you know political party and the campaign no. Sebi it is say be sepani ko ni haba. Yet ase ni benyansa for politics is meant for intelligentials. Who nim nyansa to mean politics in actually.
I see.
I'm telling you.
Now let me pick your thoughts on this. Papa Kufuor Kasano or emphasize on grassroots power. But this is a situation where party decided say this time womo ebe shase free soro no mo de aba form. Metie Papa Kufuor no na madwene ye me say indirectly or complaining about the approach of the party. Say mo shase free soro na mo de aba form. Because his emphasis is that the most important part and structure of the party the most important part of the structure the grassroots. Sa approach na party na fado. Ebi ka say it is demeaning the essence of grassroots for the party no. What do you know what I'm saying?
Well, Jeko for some more kind an interpretation of them man interesting. Largely and I say generally all my O2F said the American. But as to say, the top bottom approach, every year Juma, and now we are going to maintain the status quo. You may say, NPP a deng. NPP is not a social club. NPP is not a fan club. NPP is a political party being governed by constitution. In fact, beyond NPP constitution, Ghana's constitution recognizes a Juma and Article 55 of the 1992 Republican Constitution is clear on that. Now, assembly yes, you could be Abrowa. Abrowa why in this contest. Abrowa in the Constitution. What does the Constitution state? Say because you're party, organization of the party, Article 5 of our Constitution deals with organization of the party. Chirichirim said the party will be based on polling station, electoral area, constituency, external, regional to national organization. That is the organization of the party. Now, elections.
So the party's constitution starts from the lowest base, Bibwa.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, apart from, you see, National Council decision we take here, no, the kind no, it hinges on what the constitution states. Say, yeba to aba, that's it. Ahana yeba to no. That's what Article 13(1)(1) of our constitution states. Say, National Council, it was said to me, no. National Council, it was said to me, no. Omo betimi ede National Council never said to me no. Hey. National Council never said to me no. National Council never said to me no. Omo de chere eda ye de beto aba. Na that timetable no venue. Into hwe mo decision omo ko take ye wa Lisa no. Ukraine, you can't begrudge National Council say omo call for early parliamentary primaries.
Presidential primaries.
Presidential primaries. Now, almost say 31st January 2026. Yabekwa kwa ko yi we na efre ho. Omama ye date. Ni aka bia ya adwenkyere. Sa top bottom approach no ya adwen no mo kire.
Ya adwen no mo kire.
Yes.
Na say ensi ye.
Dabi.
Enwie peye.
Dabi.
Ebetimi asesa. Oh, sir.
Yes.
And a man for both say we are near the
a proponents of sir top bottom approach no and no more advancing more arguments and there's another schools of thought say let's maintain the status quo. Mama yemfen free from enkosro bottom top or bottom up approach. Now me as a party near me person party no the main interest no is to ensure say the cohesive spirit of the party becomes more solid and strong. No? Meme dear, and say, a day, and a conference eka. Because a democracy, don't want to take a decision. Any idea, So now, your core conference, 19th July. Now say, yeah, because I've gone through almost 60 amendments proposal.
Okay.
Very interesting. BDA interesting. I heard the conference, Becca. Conference, which is the highest decision-making body of our party. So conference will decide. To be some me view on sir top bottom approach. My catcher will say, let conference decide.
Because honestly, when I would this our perspective we are about, for a lot of people it is cast in stone. Once the decision has been taken, say on this date. Ye koha ye koto sa ba we no esi but wo mama ti ase say e ya adwenkyere
you know
but date da so
date no any venue no no is in consonance with Article 13 of our constitution.
Okay,
enti no de be ye adwuma.
Okay, but activity na e be
but say e be free ye the free through na e ba form and ye the free form and e cost no will be ratified by conference. Eti conference bet ma bogu conference bet ma je honatum. What you say? By be a yina no yet snasi near heard the exigencies of the time and vis-a-vis say and power adie people are so obsessed with who leads the party. And if that is the case there, and you can call you free because it's becoming chaotic. Maybe it makes sense. And no, your proponents no say mo call from echichirim.
Omombeko conference.
Aye, one ko chairman ma constituency executive so omo na do so omo na eba conference. Omo anti ase omba be shutu ne down. Mati se bi mo si o na National Council take decision final. No. Urefi.
It is not.
It's not the case. Urefi said maybe there was a time when National Council take a decision say yema man nko unopposed. You bogu okay.
Affirmative action. Even Nanado was the proponent of
bogu baby cry. Yes. That is democracy for you. It's not over until it's over. That's why I'm saying say enyan tokwa. Eni kwa se omo obufu unua eye kasetwetwe ewo radio ni so. Debi. Say ye ko na me conference affirm the decision of bottom top bottom approach. I'll be the first person to accept it. So we move on. Your conference say there be a honor dear. Let's maintain the status quo. I'll be the first person to abide by because you see, and no name me party me duty says here. Say the essence of democracy is majority decision.
That's
so
right.
if majority takes decision, ehɔ na yɛ nyinaa yɛkɔ. Saa na yɛyɛ no.
Enti metewase a ne papa mu a omo pɛ so omo tu franka ene omo chitaefo nyinaa no. Ense so omo ha omo ho sambre selling the attributes of omo candidates. Ne mumu no omo nton ne nti a yenko top bottom approach and answer bottom up approach. Omo mfa saa asem no mumu nante rather than say na wo ha ho ton because the first hurdle that party nanim is sa activity no. Anya
hurdle. Yanya ne invented a hurdle no.
So it has become a hurdle.
No, you see what I'm saying is I know it depends on your strategy. Say obi or no or call into elections or pin multiple fronts. Now your campaign no at a go. Same person no or advances say be a young free sort of marathon and I am free from Kosro. At the same time no me candidate way the candidate channel saying it see in the air turn. It depends on train. And time is of essence. Time no sir. Inti how dear nyame na be but what I'm saying is sam poatwa ene kasa bebrebe na enam framemu no me from where I sit I don't because why must we fight on Saturday way a proposer and it still remain proposer apart from eda ebeto aba I know the constitution is clear on that any baby ebeto no ama council no the aba say yebeko Legon University of Ghana Stadium and that is the venue Omasa my say 31st January that is the date and that is what the constitution dictates it's a many problem but sir yabema na look it said yes sabi decision be omo kan and I said omo can be about nipa 4 no nipa 5 no yemfa to count
pacho okay mame emfa wentum me no ka say the suspended Chief Justice is addressing the nation. Na Enchibiano, you be crossing over. Na yako peke bits and pieces of sa enkomona ekoso no na yehuna sempotia. The suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu ede to eja na mask min piantum sisi a ho yonko okay yentine kakra na yensa embra back to the studio na yemeto ankomo no so ewa
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi kre eye baako pe.
So I should be removed as Chief Justice. He complains that I supervise the Judicial Secretary to administer a decision of the General Legal Council, which was taken before I became Chief Justice. So I should be removed as Chief Justice. If you read all my responses, you'll find that I provided all the records behind these decisions. Then he complains that I recommended judges to be appointed to the Supreme Court. So I should be removed as Chief Justice. Now, anyone who knows how appointments are made with recommendations from the Ghana Bar Association, the Attorney General and the Chief Justice will know that this last complaint only shows ignorance of a very long-standing tradition. It has been the settled practice for decades that in the recommendation of justices for the superior courts, it is the Chief Justice, the Ghana Bar Association, and the Attorney General who have the privilege of making recommendations for those who are to be nominated. The recommendations can be refused or accepted by the President. I encourage anyone to read the judgment of the Supreme Court in the case of Ghana Bar Association and others versus the Attorney General, 2015-2016, to Supreme Court of Ghana Law Reports 872, when this matter was even discussed, and other academic works that discuss this practice that has been around for decades. How has it suddenly become unconstitutional or wrong conduct or incompetence for the Chief Justice to recommend to the President to consider for nomination judges who, in her view, satisfy the constitutional standard of high moral integrity. Yet, despite all the evidence provided, there is a hearing being conducted at Edu Lodge. I have taken this walk through Mr. Ofori's petition to show that the allegations have no bearing whatsoever on any sensitive national issues or public safety or order, or my inability to perform my functions as Chief Justice. They also do not have any basis in law or truth. They are just an attempt to gather a lot of complaints together, regardless of whether they are true or not, whether they are justified or not, just to have an excuse for the conduct of this inquiry that breaks all the rules of fair hearing. I'll be done soon, don't worry. There's also a petition from a gentleman called Mr. Ayamga Akogo. His complaint is that on 14th November 2024, after the Supreme Court had given a ruling which went against him, I, as presiding judge in the Supreme Court, ordered his arrest without any reason. He attached an exhibit to his petition, which was a media report from a group called the Law Platform. This media report says that after the Supreme Court panel had ruled against Mr. Akogo, he started to shout in the courtroom, and that is why he was taken out of the courtroom. Essentially, therefore, his own exhibits contradict his claims. Mr. Akogo goes on to claim that when he applied for a copy of the day's proceedings, which were signed by all the judges that presided on his case, he did not see a record that he had been arrested. So I should be removed as Chief Justice. What is significant about this petition is that Justice Puaman sat with me as one of the judges who heard Mr. Akogo's case and was named as a witness that Mr. Akogo will call. But His Excellency the President has appointed him to chair an inquiry into this petition, and he has accepted to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 1273 of the Constitution indemnifies any judge against any action or suit for any act or omission by him while exercising judicial power. This provision was just last week cited as a reason for declaring a petition against a Supreme Court nominee frivolous. As a judge, I failed to hear the side of the Speaker of Parliament before the Supreme Court made an order, so I should be removed as Chief Justice. Again, I can only point to the fact that no judge sits alone in the Supreme Court, and the court's decisions are the decisions of all the judges who sit together. So you will see that every decision I took that is complained about by Mr. Ofori, Mr. Akogo, and the group calling itself Shining Stars was done as a part of a panel of at least 5 judges that made up the Supreme Court. And all judges in the panel are indemnified by Article 1273. How tenable, if I can respectfully ask, can it be that a petition to remove the Chief Justice from office can be entertained on these grounds? Every administrative decision is supported by my constitutional obligations, and I have shown with exhibits, or I showed to His Excellency the President and with exhibits that each decision that was listed was taken after due process, and yet a warrant of suspension was issued against me without giving reasons. Interestingly, there have been some recent suggestions about rules being made to safeguard judges from frivolous attempts to remove them from office. It sounds like an attempt to assure the judiciary that after unconstitutional and illegal means have been used to remove me, conditions will be made safer.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
For those who help with it. those who may be afraid by the reporting proceedings behind closed doors that break all the rules of adjudication or inquiry as we know them, after all the progress that we have made in the rule of law, that dissent will lead us to a place where no judge, commissioner, or head of an independent constitutional body will be safe from compromise created by fear, intimidation, threats, or a desire to please. A new standard would have been set where judges comply with what influential persons want or stand the risk of losing everything, including their career, their pensions, and their reputations through the smear campaigns that can accompany the process. Any petition will be enough to invoke the danger of being removed by proceedings that are not supported by law and which can be shrouded behind high security walls. I am confident that in my journey as a lawyer, as a judge, and now as Chief Justice, there is no one person in this country who can look at me in the eye and accuse me of taking a bribe to decide a case. This is the personal treasure of integrity that I live with. So what if these current proceedings are being carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, even if there's no lawful justification? All I have stated shows that any such action would have been done on the basis of lies and violations of law and due process. As a career judge who has served under 4 presidents, from High Court through Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, I could never have imagined such irregularities possible if I had not personally encountered them. I am also a mother, and I am a grandmother who must hope for better than this for our country, its rule of law, and its democracy. On my part, I chose to respect His Excellency the President's warrant of suspension, even though it was clear to me that it was not supported by a prima facie determination that is required by the Constitution and decisions of the Supreme Court. I have chosen to honor the process set in place to hear the petitions, but I do not choose to hide from the nation that perversion of law, rules, and due process, as we all know them, are driving the proceedings, and this renders the proceedings unconstitutional. I choose to trust that such darkness will not totally engulf this nation. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
So you're free holiday in Aba. What's the suspended Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, addressing the nation? Na nensem kayeno ni odi twato na mede hyase o se ono ankasa agye atomu se obema no ho kwan ne de nafa ne de ne fa so nyina na emumu no bibia nso nsi ne ho kwan se process na ye de ne famu no se etia ne fa hodie so na eye aye ntanchi a bibia nsi ne ho kwan so be magana fo hunu ne ekoso o se ono fi so be ye judge obia ni ho no mo obetimi e de ne nsasi ni bu aka se wage bribe da ana wa mane bribe ana oye corrupt da eno ye ne personal brand of integrity inti die mpa na omodi yi ne free office ansa no obeka we no na wa petitioners ne nsem ne ko adu omodi aboni nyina no wa kirikiri mu akeka ni nyina eno de bedu ho se obia accuse ne so akwaje bribe akwaje ademudie oye corrupt inti enyi ni free office inti nsem omodi ato no so omugina so de yi ni nyina no she used the word fabricated lies. When you see the word fabricated lies, offer petitioners no nyina ba omoye miensa offer obia petition eto ne bukọ kwadu a omode bonimu na asɛm ne say there is no evidence provided by the petitioners was asɛm mu enti ɛdeɛn na wɔn hwehwɛ mu if wɔn so wɔn yɛ hwehwɛ mu ɛdeɛn na wɔn hwehwɛ because ɔno as far as ɔyɛ aware petitioners no ɛmfa evidence adansidie baako kram bata kwadu a wɔn de bɔ no ho enti inquiry na ɛkɔ so no wɔn hwehwɛ deɛn na amanfoɔ susu sɛ bi a ɔde press conference we ba bɛka sɛ wagya n'adwuma to hɔ wanyanya biem but ɔde press conference we momu no akyerɛkyerɛ n'asɛm mu asan so aka neɛ ɔno n'adwene mu yɛde ne fa mu a osusu sɛ etia ɛyɛ ne fa ahodie so. And I quote once again, or say, every step of the removal process being taken against me is being carried out in a manner that violates every rule of how justice is administered in Ghana. Or say, I have decided to make this statement today because the violations have not stopped. They have escalated. Nintia wire press conference where and then say, Sa ne fa ahudi a yetiatia so no koso da so koso na afa kura mpo de ayekese emu ayedin. I think so that's the word. Emu ayedin na osun de akere Ghana fo ama Ghana fo hunu ne ofa mu ene ne ekoso ewo eye ongoing hearing no emu. On social media nipa dodo na ye divided over this matter. Ebi say process na hyase a ye din ne fa wonfam. Ebi so kan no social media denden ne say ne maame ne kan ne bibia ne ho esi ne kwan emre bia ne ho esi say ye de wo fa public inquiry mu na ye de wo ye diwu ana say ye de asem bi diwu na enye wo da emre bia ni bia kire say ma bontene Emma meka sa ensemuno. Or say, how can Justice Poorman, who gave judgment in favor of Daniel Ofori as part of a panel of the Supreme Court and whose opinion I dissented with, preside over processes to remove me as Chief Justice, ostensibly for complaints Mr. Ofori has? Well, Honorable Collins Usamankwa Women still was studio, our former member of parliament, Mamenshia North. Ye DMPP whom Komona Quincy never was a crossover to Holiday in Yokofa press conference. Honorable, I mean, your reaction to Asimika Kranafe and Twaso.
I think suspended Chief Justice.
Before you go on, Mamifa one last thing so Kaka who made a film and can say the secrecy of the proceedings for removing judges was not created in the Constitution to be used as a cover-up for any agenda. Nasemne say, we have Constitution ni mu a kyerɛ sɛ sɛ ebeyi Supreme Court judge bi a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛyɛ no kokoam na yɛamfa saa mmara no anhyɛ mu sɛ yɛmfa nyɛ kataso muamuasoɔ na yɛmfa ntia obi fa ahodie so anaasɛ yɛmfa tirimopɔ bi nsi yɛtirim na esansa ade na wo kokua mu nti yemfa ndi obi ho nsɛm na Chief Justice e de atodwa honorable momenti
baby
honorable
mama na sɛm ya papa
so
very pathetic na no emo ya wi ase yenka ni wachi a wo si agro ye de hwɛ mama no ho hunu sɛ sɛbi toko no ojina ho as a woman. Debbie, judicial independence in Ghana is constitutionally guaranteed under our statutes. na se yetena ho ema ora mahama ene NDC aban we eji Chief Justice we free ho let me restrain myself, but I can tell you, say a bit breaky pillars of democracy in this country.
Really?
Yes. When I'm catching
a bit breaky the pillars of
democracy in this country.
How so? Because said the process is equally constitutional.
Forget about it.
Why?
The omu ye be a preconceived. Maameno edena waye. As we speak, they've not been able to establish prima facie of charges or modiabono.
Oh, we wouldn't have gotten to this stage. I'm more establishing prima facie.
So you see, nina frivolous because in can only first thing where on say yami and santi hey and no mask and count and a petitioners and when on saka yakun a copy of the petition and I will go through. So now your petition against you. And say no crab back over baby obi a meka nchekwa wan kasa o respond so a obeka the onim fa ho say oh how there say the omo can say ni say me catch you say me having gone through petition ne petitioner since mo kan ye nyina no I can tell you say throughout my life me who such a bogus and useless petition like this.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. And so bako kure nyinem. Yes. In fact, omo kan ya say maame ne kura di oman sika. Na wo di oman sika ene ne matu kwan. Ye ko mu no. Na che say maame ne kura no. Oman na kode nika. Refund or dia ma oman kura oman na sa kode nika. Yet ho. Ena me na me ye executive president. Me nuen wo ye speaker of parliament, legislature. Me nuen wo ye judiciary, chief justice. 3 pillars of government. 3 pillars. And me bu ono no pillar no. Na obi aba be gina ho. Ai na no ebisi adan a na Akufo-Addo ko yi electoral commission. What kind of banner argument is this? What the Electoral Commission of Ghana to 2 Chief Justice on? And then that's one case when it comes to a governance structure na unimini okeka. 3 pillars, triangular. A chain here said in Central for Bebata was the 4th state of the realm. Me catch you a triangular.
Yeah, they say bata home.
Mo bata home. Me say a triangular. Pillars no 3.
Are you saying
because you have executive powers?
Pillars say 3 say if there is reason to remove one then a constitution boss appoint to
the American. I they say Obi Subeka said the president cry no ye impeach no. But what I'm saying is say maame no omoko ade bia wo ya sebi sinsanso no ya ne ye kohwe ba bi edi free ba.
Okay.
Me say ye preconceived. Because opposition, no, Omampanyini Mahama na waka maame ne ho nsem bebre. So the idea ni say ne mind na preoccupy say me ba me hwe say me punish him.
Which wa born out to ho.
I wa born out to ho. We mean. That's the word. Say kuma se say na be kan. We me mean pa o say ne me mean pa. Which is we me maame no. Enti too many bedi nensa no e was so timi satisfy and the party so just say oh semre bi na me ka say me ba me hwe say me clean judiciary no enti me di be free soro aba form. That is not the case. And I know capo amai dey say there was an issue na o dissenting view, and it's true judges no they are like that. So it is assembly and kenko say na o dissent no omo ye nipa edru ba bi omo nipa sem no so timi ye adwuma enti se nipa ne was a personal vendetta no mom ne say obe pass judgment on her. I think it is very very worrying. I was say ye twen ya adwene siso na ye tie de mame no ekan mame na ye mobo oba tan. I was say ye twen ya adwene sis de wo kom psychological trauma all come because to me a kura no sebi the office that she occupies, no, and your officer, ya de tunte, a ubetimi, a case o team for Timua, exactly, and that is exactly what is happening. I say, people have become so heartless, say, oh, electoral and in fact, former electoral commissioner, Madam Charlotte say, the issues no, men are mechanical say pain. Cause there's no way Akufo-Addo, former president, now Kobe setting up committee to investigate.
And then the money,
what happened? They say there were procurement breaches, irregularities. And so the petitioners and to started on one deputies. If not, I'm telling you, we have very sensitive institutions. Now the politics go. Now it's becoming obvious that Ora Mahama Sosidia. Look, Ghanaians are watching. The whole world is watching. I feel that office number conterminous with that of next president of Eba, and it's more suicidal because
na ekwa say abanse sana CEOs near politics chief justice but
another danger woman say if we allow this suspension to take effect to a sense you're sacking from office and also so it threatens even prospective investors from investing in our economy.
But
that is another danger.
You make it
because
sound...
we invest in Ghana.
You make it sound...
Chief Justice free. So
now let's...
very serious.
So from day one, the processes have been followed. Emrane said, answer now don't sabeka Chief Justice, there must be a petition. Petition about conveyor belt for the appropriate quarters. Appropriate quarters in we no more establish a prima facie case. A movie on. The defense of Abai when he said omontomrebia oma follow constitutional processes in to the latter baby sine. It is okay so much titi amraswa. Emrane he fasa no metiti aso.
No, you see, it is a fear hey. More duty roster.
Yeah.
Na yes, there be a more report 8 o'clock. Okay. Na BBC and I'll be our report 8:30 and 9. Ehwa manager no. Wabo watu honti. And can shed that enye a big punishment be an answer issue be o. But
if you kwa wonye late put there na no pay.
Na me gina so. Me can the assist when you say I say you say you credit to me no. Yes, indeed the bet my yarn say petitioners what the monfa bibi amra. What the bibi amra answer the beka na say you know. She must be on suspension. She say you refer to
which is constitutional.
Exactly. So you see you frustrated too keke. You bet mama what same way no why you careful because emrana shada anka ensi so say bia o ye man 2 weeks. Why you careful until say committee no the findings be back. Say you are still on suspension. Go be acted instead. And now frustration has set in. Uye nipa obeti afena omo besan ebe jawo de wo mama wo party communicators. E 2 months say monwe mame no. Na omo start propaganda upon propaganda, wide allegation. And to be we omo go anymore, and that is exactly what they are doing.
Okay,
now omo crucify mame no ewo public crucifixion no.
But she's been given the opportunity to defend herself before the committee. All Kasano say asem no modi ato no so no adansidie ba kokora mata ho. Mami nso nyobi a sebia mu oye ordinary person onimumra no ono no temra na no. Ususu say mami won't mean defend no one.
Na what can say such trial no secrecy no. Mami opted for on camera. Almost no way.
Because I'm running such nature no such matters no I will say no kukwem.
But I request and the fundamental human right.
But the law
I don't need it. But my right is to speak to the nation.
But what kind the very article I think it's article 48 now. A chepe say a basi ye chief justice in the operative word it shall be in camera. So it is not about or no preference. It's about what the Constitution says. And
you see, idea also who say, who you sue operative force as against entrenched articles it deals with fundamental human rights. What you say? The fundament or simultaneously me fa who no say right to speak.
Ubia Gageno.
She's been gagged because
she will get the right to speak before a committee.
Which committee? Miss
committee na probino.
Committee na mo ahwe da kose sa omo time me matam fofo edu omo kogu so say omo ma se nuamu no sa me nkwohye kokoam no mfa bibi nsa mbo mitrim. O ka se ma me no se bi wonye nyansafo.
Na so lawyers.
Oh.
Or a lawyer for our money no call committee name.
You see, what is good for goose is good for the Ghana. Adena AC no. Sebi etua nko si etua duam. Mumma ye nyina as people. But in fact, I appeal to some of NDC for me nim wo say, look, adena ekoso no. And then no mo waban mu. So you feel that
normal.
Normal. But adie we wanye careful. A baba kwan ama ye nyame amoya one day you bet me nya president bi anitirimo na onya such president obebo nsema ma no
o de bedo
ai wo hwa na wa rewura mu ani one hunam ka ni kra obeba be ye no chief justice say no so mra mu ntimi nka say me ye president me yire ntimi nya chief justice etino but ye oniema nyina ho kwan enye ni nyina na fatan so that's what I'm saying say ade no omo betie pa enka oman panyirin state oman go back oman resume work you see nanka odie suspended the work of committee no
only such powers.
We need such power. No more such power to call for a suspension.
I know the Constitution.
You don't know we are part executive power.
When you read that, when you read Article 48,
President or yeah, President or executive president.
Now, there is also one thing I need to ask you.
President or you have no idea.
Yeah, but the Constitution has limits on the president. Ankashiku said Anka or no other sorry I can say me yibaminedi, but not from the council because all the limitations.
What's
me say so we see your executive presidency into president timi ye bribia
president in consultation with the council of
state
meba president in consultation with the council of state it is establishes a committee to investigate issues no say oni abedwafo na ekofa adwe abwan ba bi a chichire no
ehon
ne sane no and obetuma reverse the decision based on the same council no
article 48 say what suspend we no he may decide to change his mind identity chief justice apply now or explore that opportunity because it is within the power of the president
you bet my jail yeah they will call and say my pardon o man kon serve
and I make say
where you
emrane say obetimi asana dwene on the suspension. So if that is equally a provision in the article, the chief justice can go under that provision and ask the president to change his mind, and then one applies unrequested for that leniency.
You see, I want to say akoye to say otim for timiwa and be na me no that's the scenario because I say me miau ema o admit it meanwhile so no onye bone tieni yo onye bone waye bone a enanka obe engage in sa pleading bargain sa clemency ni ade
what Jerry am conducting an interview
enti bibi me die sabi metiache de mi hu no any implications ewo huge consequences ade na wo hu ne trasa no ebeba beye eka ebeba beye ebedi oman ne dam se wanya ni papa se sa ayi
triangle no
any ade bedi agro
ebi say or the press conference per public sympathy hu ni sa
nana ayeden is it out of place na public na beka bia na hwan na beka bia
ma say nya public na betimi ajewo e wo sa asemu we
anti yempaye aye public ni nti e na aban ne wo ho enti wo de tu ye nimu a na ye di ano atumu no se ye wo listening government dia obetie die public ne kan obetie die e koso of form say Krasi Maka na menwe. It won't that. And they have powers to do that.
But you know that is also politically suicidal. Then a confirmation and passing a MPP for ne one more supporting my position kase a trimuka ena omode ye no say oh yes I dey na chese wa trapping no na wo confirmation and pass na net
enti nipa be kan enti nipa be kan ti ube ko bonsam jim to your man panyin na nipa be kan ti no ube di bon
na man panyin na adwene mu no ono waye de wo se wo ye
enti na adwene no mu no de waye no na ye kase o man panyin de wadwene mu no de adwenbone na ye adwenbone na wo de aye sa de no enti jai. That is what you are saying. He acted in bad faith. And then also ukoyi a chief justice. Pony be corruption be mameno sep na mameno what done home pan say e die na mafa. Why na say me makote na obi case so ama makodi ademu de enipa ne mati Ghana ye ni nkrofo wa ti ko bi timi ma me kase mame we ampa land issue we judges are
justice the indigenous you be free office will be to say chief justice
na ye dwamamo
say there is misconduct or there is abuse of office ni nyina wo they may not necessarily be say wabokro no
na ye dwamamo ana
and mama examples ni be no there is ebinum petitioners ni be raise issues of abuse of office
abuse na ne den.
And they say, Oye Chief Justice, na odi ne busuafo akọ an official trip, na odi oman sika ahwe wo mo. Omu susu say omo madwene mu na abuse of office.
Na committee in charge of emoluments
bribe.
Me say committee a omo na dey in charge of emoluments article 71 holders no. Enyo omo na hihye say sebi there are certain key offices when you occupy ultimately the ukunu. When you ukunu kra na boyfriend and also now person ordering dog ubetimi de nako anya ya mra na ya dey gratuity ni na atetare ho privileges enjoy enti no na make say beginning no crucify mame no enti na akoye ti say ene mame wadi dream but asem ne back no now it's been unraveled say
it's been unraveled by who? By the same person who is being accused.
By facts available.
Yes, facts from her, Anamebwa. There is no independent person
confirming that.
Process anything. And then you also say,
Adia watino. Ube na wati. Wati na
ode. Ona hunu so mati. Omu hunu so mati. Enti mane wie ni nka ye hunu sinia wie. Ana.
Hey, hwe. O we. Efonsa no ahwe wote.
No kre.
E wo se aban mpanifo. Omo ne oman panyini kasa yi. Devoid of hatred ne preconceived the EBC mind say ye be say and now say be politics. Now there's a regime change. Inti moma ye hu say ye de ya ba na omo anya sa akonya ne omo anya. That's what I'm saying say true. Say appointment ena nka omanpanyini ede na mu a eno ye so be it but by virtue say baby a wakwakwako adan the late Professor Mills obaye George na Wood ya ma mo nka ne ho asem a almost that is a funny story say ya and they go to the president and they realize that that's how they be chief justice free o
and ma Professor Mills ka say
Exactly.
Honorable your friend ho na yen sorry because I have a long list of people to interview.
Very well.
And then I would DJ MPP Amanyukuno, especially on the back of the former President J. Kufuor, a catcher party, no. A kunka said that when him, but ansana mobekosa kono, more kun fear was some of her namoko. We want a tougher. A dear na wo ususu se party for no enye to get that unity of purpose. And I was say any party anymore.
You see, one, we must be deliberate in selecting leadership.
Okay.
Because of perceived cracks within the party. Send your baby and your bit men these differences. I'm calling for leadership. More resilient.
Okay.
More accommodating. Very strategic thinkers. Operational and security conscious.
Why identify Ibinimu?
I say that is the kind of leadership I'm sure.
Why identify
we are in
opposition?
We are in opposition. The party must be deliberate in selecting some materials. And because NDC for you could 2 minutes from almost catching. And Obian also obey party officer and obey party officer oba na do manner on no even the befaka the baba kasa. But obi bo be man who say what the sika obi no be check about watching sika. May person omodu omadwene koso say when you are in opposition, you select your best. Forget about obi onya bi a chance wa ban mu na bi a no fit say ni boto mu ye. No. Ye koto sabana, I'm telling you, we're going to have a very weaker leadership. One way the person intimate.
As a position wato.
Office is reserved for highest bidder. And no the wa banner wa bid. If you hokono. Chobo cry no opa no beka. Because when you have no be lord over you. But this time no, party must be deliberate. Say ye hwem. Na say Jerry e wo buo krom ne ye beka kofa na ba. Ye nkofa ne mfa ne mesi o. Say wo ye de to me we. Ye gina wo chi ye bo chi dom. Oni pesa ha, wo hwe ha maye. Sa na ye no. Na afesusu no. Yen demonstrate some level of genuine reconciliation.
Okay.
Genuine. True and genuine reconciliation. And also engage in unity of purpose as a party. I'm telling you, say, demonstrate BB say, oh, and yes, be a niswa said, can. Name Momuno, me de ubi boni acho. Also, say Collins me de uboni acho. Okay, yes, in Yamani name, Moma chat a new path as a political party. Now, said there be yes, ye back idea and Crawford, dear, I'm telling you. We have a long way to go. And media, all is not lost. Yeah. MPP for Obianka na come Antonio internal elections. Internal, the start here say by who ebejo. Name momuno after competition, cooperation.
I like that. After competition, cooperation. Former Member of Parliament Emma Menchia North Constituency, the Honourable Collins Usamankwa. Honourable Medawase. Da ben na mesen hu biem.
That's Bibi.
So the water na ukukumazi.
O se krom ya me de na mo ya me both.
Ya mo 9 time ntinti o ifie ha na.
Ya no o se krom ya me de.
Minim pa o se krom nkasa de de. Na no me fi ho ba Stella no. Okay, anytime you are in town, me hu na ye nu ndi ahia ni ni komo. Ya da se bebre na awie se waba no aba ma edwumadi no so aye krabehwe. Na me kan ho papa. 98.9 FM, Honorable Collins Usamankwa no ate ne kan former MP Emma Menchia North on the ticket of the NPP. And on dia he. Oh. Chief.
Until I give back.
I give Illinois. Me sure. So or hey or internet. My chiapa.
Chief.
I
mean come.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Na Dua Herbal Clinic. Sa wasa yare easily sa.
Dua Herbal Clinic. Na aven watu wa monka. Hunema ni yare. Sunsumu yare. Yare kwankro. Ya wasa no ho no. Yesi bini.
Mekuma yare na ye kwankro. Ana bi mu kra de ahye beyi. Oduru ho a doctor ne de ahaban gu ni komu a munum ho ara hwem ya wanya na yare sa.
Chese instant healing.
Mesewo.
Ayare sa obabi o.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
Wo yare no. Doctor Ohinebo Ofori e de fasoro na ansa wo de befa fom. Chese ekwan biaso yare ntimi nwane emfiri nanim.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
E bayal samuan wa ben seja wa ben wo hye. Kuma se wa brepo broni krom. Fra ho 0248 427 998. Ena kasoa breku 0246 35 47 47.
Akrobato me kanfo Dua Asudua Herbal Center. Wa ohia bi abra. Ekoyie.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
Oh, Charlie, me wanna mean na ya me ya. Oh, person ma person. Sese me be enko ye. Oh,
and yes, so Yom Herbal Lotion. Deals Generations Enterprise in Ediaba.
And tiene wo mu a. E ma ne bu achuma pa.
What ya ba mu awodin dura. E kuni pedium yaw kra na ye drum. Se entu unam yaw. Ene wa poso yare bia ase. What ya ni se obehie kakra gu nsem. Na wodi atwitwi wo hu na mani. Ene wa poso baby a eya we ya. Na mu no mo wa. Hu ba jo. Amo yaw na ko. Na hu aju se fom. Did I want to want some cry?
Wow, we just send me this some.
Enye ni just sem keke o. Esesa brabo nso ma wa sitting ko yie. Abra wo bo de wu atra foforo.
Na menya bia to wo hen.
Se wo pedudu etu. Ana wo pese wo tu biton. Ana wo pe contract sale dia. Ene e frɛ 024-473-0295 ana 030-295-4146. Afei so wo benya bia to e wo pharmacies ne herbal shops mu. Yom Herbal Lotion. Life is possible. Edro yi nyam ma pemfo. FDA age dwade gratu atu.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
Hey, na Dua Herbal Clinic. Se wasa yare easily sa.
Dua Herbal Clinic. Na aven watu wa monka. Honema ni yare, sunsumu yare. Yare kwankro. Ya wasa no ho no. Yesi bini.
Mekuma yare na ye kwankro. Ana bi mu krade ahye beyie. Oduru ho a doctor ne de ahaban gu ni komu a munum hwara hwem ya wenya na yare sa.
Chese instant healing.
Mesewo.
Ayare sa obabi o.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
Wo yare no. Doctor Oheneba Ofori e de fasoro na ansa wo de befa fom. Chese ekwan bia so yare ntimi nwane emfiri nanim.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
E bayal samuan wa ben seja wa ben wo hye. Kuma se wa brepo broni krom. Fra ho 0248-427-998. Ena kaswa breku 0246-35-4747.
Akrobato me kanfo dua asudua Herbal Center. Wa ohia bi abra. Ekoyie.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
98.9 FM, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie. Welcome back. Yet one common, so 33 minutes gone past. There are 4. And right now, so some do call a Dua Herbal Clinic as na Dr. Penia or da a asoye na no atena sededa. Me mana kwaba na onfa enenso komono entu edwa. Doc me mo kwaba. EpaHoaDaben Jumedie so. That's right. And then na woma eye yetifo if you Dua Herbal Center.
Me da si bibiri. Voice ya uti eye Dr. Oheneba Ofori. Me ye penipa me da Dua Herbal Clinic no. Kaswa breku ena yewo. Ena oba kumasi nso a yewo abrepo broni krom ena yewo. Na metonsa afre obibi ara yare ediwe di akoa ebesi ene. Ontumi ndi nusuye na wakokora wa achechere wa bembramo. Ediwe den ahye wankona wo ye wonhwe enye yi no bomodin a se obedan weni akire Dua Herbal Center yewo moa ye de beboa wo na yendru na ye di esa nyarwa no efri twedi ampo nyankopon ho na de bia me ka kire Ghana force nyare no yemu awdro baako miesa yo yaretra wo ho obi biara etumi ɛyare sena onyankopɔn kaayɛ ɛwɔ Ezekiel chapter 47:12 ɔse mundi duaba no na nahahan no momfa nsa mo yareɛ na ɛkyerɛ sɛ twede ampo onyankopɔn nim sɛ yɛdi duaba no ewie a sɛ ne ti bia yɛn ho bɛdodɔ yɛn enti no sɛ udidi onom na yare bi ataake o sɛ fevrid nneɛma a ɛne wofa wo den akyi a apetuansa na wobɛnya wo nutri na wobɛnya wo nkasɛ na wobɛnya wo wotiti bia wetumi akeka nneɛma abom wabɔ bi anom bi fevrid na efiri so na ho atɔ yɛfrɛ no yare tra wonya aban na onua uyi super ebefiri so sesia ene yo yare bi ɛwɔ hɔ nom a yɛfrɛ no owu yare Isaiah chapter 38 na Ezekiel ɛyare owu yare na ɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛwɔ yare bi wɔ hɔ nom na sɛ ɛbɛkyewa ɛno ne yɛfrɛ no owu yare saa yare no ebekum into onyankopɔn ka kyerɛ odifo no sɛ kona kwa kachiro hene no yare no yare no eyo wu yare o nsisi ne nsamanse o nyankwa obewu na eden na eye owu yare yewo owu yare bebiri ewo honom a edan krofu bi so a eno na ye frene se mede ne hia kasaye ono kura mede ne nyina na ebonsan ade bechi no ade ne kano a wewu na kyerɛ sɛ sɛ nipa no wo yare ɛda no so ɛna yɛwɔ abɛɛfo yare a abɛɛfo ana ahombɔne ana obitumi kɔtɔ efiri beebi sɛ metɔ yare na mede ama osimesi ana ɔbɛnten sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a mede bɛsɛ ni career mede bɛsɛ na brabɔ koraa saa yare no ene yefre no kwankro afi yembra back na afis yentake owu yare se owu yare etu obi a yebisa se den ni owu yare unya diabetes owu yare unya hepatitis owu yare yesi wenya cancer ewo liver anase cancer ewo cells mu eye owu yare yesi wenya yare bi eye adwemu yare bi edawo so a owu yare ebetuma kum yesi wenya pressure eye owu yare yesi yare no a wenya no de sene yare ne tie no ontumi enye adwuma bia aye din bia because wo yese wo be ye a ebetumi aye de eprawo ewu yare fibroid bi dawo uyem besi ene wanu meduru a enko ye friend owu yare stroke bia kan de den ama wo fa ajojo wanu echia ontumi nkasa oda faako sebi ojunso gun sebi okwade gun owu yare na achew se ewu eyare se ebi echiwa eye 50-50 doctors etumi decide say yedu ebeko operation room anase edu betu eduro so na eduro no mo de be ma won so ma ka kire say eduro we di yede wo eto so say no for your lifetime no me do no say ko so bewu because mo nim say yare na wo yare no enu an ebekun wo ye fe no wo yare ene wo yare bi nsu wo ho no mo de a se na me kan yetumi to na yedi amawo esi we di o yare etwere wo obi twasisia odu nipa mu a obi twasisia yesi we di a na den na eye no na wawro no nyina yesi bodambo na abo no eba ne sen ewe eden na eye no no oye ade a oyi esi ato yare osunsum di ama no eno no de udi ko hospital ye be your lab ye be o test bi doctors no be ka kire wo say wo ye okay nanso wo ni pedua na otuwo no bo say unye okay eno ena ebeba ne se afi de umfa sa yare ni chinchin na umpe nduru ube chinchin a wo wiase a unya o yare ni nduru da ube kwa ahwe japade nyina so ohun towoda nanso wo nipa no nyama na eye wo no untumi nkyere ade na eye wo no ase ɛna doctors nso ɛyɛ wo lab we trials kan yɛ bibia ɔmo ntumi nkyerɛ ade kode ɛyɛ wo ba wankasa wo nsɛ o brɛ ye friend ahombɔne yare abifo yare no ba owo yare de yetumi kyerɛ sɛ yare we ɛyɛ wo ɛyɛ diabetes hepatitis ye HIV ade we de saa yare enu ana ebeku nti de draw we so nanom na kakra ye manage ama ko sɛ ɛde obekɔ wo mu enu na doctor Oyinbo Ofori me papa me ama me eduro na eduro na me papa mu edi ama me eye 50s na Ghana kura nya independent ye ena eduro no me papa mu edi ye edwuma na eduro no ekura source of spiritual power na se uba ya so na esi we yare bia kan ye se we yare na se nto yare ana yare na eye no ye hu yare na no a na ya frɛ wo edi aba nti ye ba ye bedikan aso kra na hwe se anye bia eduro na ye di ba ba ye wo no eduro no ebe mo we nyankwa ana wu ana obewu nti ye beti owudi fokete na ya tu owudo egbugbo eni magbezo no eni magbenu akuduwo eni trapokotepo na edi abebrambo nti edi bebram wie a na ya ato ye to na ebebo na esan epim eba na ekire se ade ni enye yi basi ye to na ade ni atumi etrawa na ekire se obenyankwa ye wie a na edi dua sudua no ato fam na edi elekpepe no ato so ye di elekpepe no to so na elekpepe no awro se rudu na fe na aye elekpepe no akira se echinhia nti ebe chinhia ko ti se ebe ko so yare no ma chi yare ni dedua na chi yare ni dedua na eba e di manifestation ene ebe pi na obi won se yare ni epi a obetuma jonso na ojonso sebi jonso obejunso no ugina ne wa ontumi gina no kan bisa ene obi won ma sebi obe finance ofia mpopo bibira obeye gu fam no ohwa enhwe ene obi wonso wonu ma obekọ ade mu gya na bebre e de gu ne hu nyina enya asem ketua we ena ye to Ghana fo nyina asumu esutre se yare bi ye ne yare no wa ya enye yi a bradua sudie ba center na bra na be experience the power of elekpepa ibi na fa elekpepa no tu kom na yare no se ye owo yare o se ye nto yare o se ye duabo se obi na odi aye wo se otanhu ni arakwa no obi epese on fan se o career bradua sudie ba center enye keke na me kachiro obiom se efi se papa mu di elekpepa yi ma me di ye djuma yi onyame ama mankasa asama meduro ena mankasa mi wa eduro nti enduro baku miesa ena wodua so de ba center enye keke nti frem e wo 0246 35 47 another 47 0246 35 47 another 47 na frem 0248 42 79 98 0248 42 79 98 me ka kire o se uba yen aso e honoma ye wo kasoa breku kromu udie udu kasoa na ofa breku ka na esi wo breku last stop na ka kire drivers ana mate ana mantemo fo okodua su ye ba center ye be ka se hwe otenten so ubo abronsantinti bi ya pent na kokosrade na doctor bi ejina somebody so a ahaban egu ni komu enye keke eye 50s baby biara owo na ade bi eye obia ehia wa enwu shawo yare a enwu ye wo solution ewo ho edima o enati enye yare nyina na ehia se obenu meduro eduro na ebeboa wa ankasa aboa o ebeson yare anka son yare brabe experience the power of elekpepe yenti na akane no se yempeni for ka kire se ye weduro bi wo no ma se obe yusu a eje se undware ne ntu yare ase eje se untumi nsre duro no ne ntu yare nse eje se untumi mpu duro no ne ntu uyare nse eje se do no untumi entieti aso te se obi o se menase atatai o ko hospital na ya wo no panie wada be kwa onya petuansa and tutumika kohwepo na otieti aso o de fajem sa na otieti aso with this 30 minutes no ebetwi unemu nsu nyina sin abegu no ho ato ba o de beko my de mpani awo ebewie chi na onan aya levantiasis se unim ba ye de onyame adaroma me papa ma ne shetimi e de eduru no e de amami e na me de ye edwuma na se opese hu se na elekpepa no me de ye edwuma komi social media media handle no so me social media handle koso bodua studio eba center Facebook na bodua studio eba center ewo TikTok kom Instagram na hwe ye star of healing ye ni compatibility ewo Ghana ha inti ye no ye aduro na ye nton aduro ba ye de aduro no na esa yare nti se opa aduro ato akodro stock to aduro opo obi ama na ye aduro ama okọ omma ma ye aduro ama ba ye enye no na ye aduro no ye na ye di san yare Inti 0246 35 47 another 47 0246 35 47 another 47 0246 35 47 another 47 natural 0248 42 79 98 0248 42 79 98 answer na me sole no me da sida kesiye ebe da me wo fase eja akrobetu bebi biara mejina bebi biara me kasa biara no me boni din because be mbra na wo me kru mu a oba ye no be hu ejuma ami di no o se me ne wo be bankran na ejuma a ohun se medi elekpaduro no ye no ohun se we die enye ade a ye di tene kura sesa me mfamba kru kesi na beji nkrofo nkwa biko ade eye 50s na ye di ye ejuma no inti min kasa nche Fre 0246 35 47 another 47 0246 35 47 another 47 and 0248 42 79 98 o friend no ma we a o de me doctor Ohindibo Ofori ebenya encounter
when your receptionist and secretary be about ho direct
kra o frɛ me bada me do be kasa o mo frɛ na o pese oni mi kasa o de be kasa o pɛ so say WhatsApp a o send me voice note a metie me ma o mo aye because enu nti e na me wo ha no mo na enu nti ni ma assignment a me di ba mi wiase to bi biara yare bi how enye yare se bi a e na meti e na koko de bi koko say
koko pa kire
se koko ye wa me be koko bonso koko bonso
kese na nkasa no tai koko na chi
ya fin koko bonso enye na koko na David kope we bi na no na ebeko
o pese o confront bonsam no hye yade na chi
na si yade we
se o yade na ye hunhum yade a dua sudua heba center ne last stop
enye yare nkete na mikotojo
na me yemuhwi
David kope kakase de kope champo fe sra so na ebeko ba yare wa kwa enko ena obi se na baba so ayem de bi baba so sen o de ne baba so kraman
wo no na de ba
eno na idua so de ye hu adwuma enye keke
ni ndia no de baba so ano den kapeva
kra eno asem
baba so kraman wo
eno asem na ye ka
that's right o mic no off nyamotre
into me do bibiara ase me din Dr. Ohindibo Ofori nyame bo ochina me tenasi ewo kasua breku bra na enimi benya encounter na
ya
na
wo
kumase next week mo kumase but this week mo nyina de mo Accra nyame inshiro bibia
nyame shira won soso papa a doc obi jo number sisia wo studio oso ope wow enama na no de atudwa no ono wonfa na mafoforo bia ntudwa mate enti jeri jeri de elekpepe no kwani fantu ku o say you say o dem
da bi elekpepe de
we say okoso follow who no road that's the point yo
doc asemo kan na ayem de pa say yare obenu maduro sa na da so yare
989
mama ba ko na person ka bisa ba to bisa se doc wo
o na so wonko akiri dia studia heba center for ena wono aba besumwe intie wo mo kakra na afi yemra ne intinsi omansem
Na dua herbal clinic. Sa wasa yare easily sa.
Dua herbal clinic. Na aven watu wa monka. Honema ni yare. Sunsumu yare. Yare kwankro. Ya wosa no ho no. Yesi bini.
Mekuma yare na ye kwankro. Ana bi mu kra de ahye beyie. Oduru ho a doctor ne de ahaban gu ni komu a munum ho ara hwem ya wanya na yare sa.
Chese instant healing.
Mesiwo.
Ayare sa obabi o.
Dua herbal clinic.
Wo yare no. Dr. Ohinebo Ofori e de fasoro na ansa wo de befa fom. Chese ekwan bia so yare ntimi nwane emfiri nanim.
Dua herbal clinic.
E bayal semu an wa ben seja wa ben wo hye. Kuma se wa brepo broni krom. Fra ho 0248 427 998. Ena kaswa breku 0246 35 47 47.
Akrobato me kanfo dua asudua heba center. Wa ohia bi abra ekoyie.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben
98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie enie emrena so semeni abedwafo sinkonya na ene ensemo a edadwa no yedi eho enkomo sene medical ene waka no mesamba back to Chief Justice ne nsemo ode to dwa no bi etofa baba ko bi ewo mu a manfo peti ankofo busame ne se or resign anase one resign ena me se muntie Asemba kwa Chief Justice no dia tudwa ne say or say resigning or retiring is not an option when there is probe against you. You need to fight, stand your grounds, and discharge yourself. Inti mu amubusa say obe resign and non resign. Or say it is not an option because there is an ongoing probe. Obitimi achire ne nsemu. Jerry Owusu, ye General Secretary ma LPG Amanyuko no. Philip Jima, Ablekuma West Constituency Youth Organizer for the New Patriotic Party. Ewe nim se yenua ofri NDC enso ebabedu na enkomo no emu ayeda. Beja fo memamo adwuma mo akwabo.
Yenua bibi.
Philippo.
Bro.
Boko de.
Nyamadum. Bibi a sheye.
Ye de obo ade nyankro ba.
But yenua nam na ama ye che dudu.
Munuanom
yenuanom NDC for na
omo mamochia yudu
sabi omo is set creator omo do achi ehu omo do anim ehu tamo mo position omo keka mo about NPP de abind de ye taxes bu ye kom na asefo keka mo bo bi so na de pa na shomusa omo ye press call against galam saying all kinds of things as if NPP are heartless and you nipa ho you don't want to shomusa 6 months after Ghana for Francis friend
almost said that
almost say bia no face Egypt one no more no komunya komu Egypt one bia nam ne de ehu
obi ene atiti fuos almost say mo mra na mo betu fuo mu ana
na almost ese ye kukrumpo ne ne ba beso na
ede na si
yeah,
almost so the prakwen mo.
Me prakwen. Very probably January. Almost so more less than 5 months. Taxes like 7 more than 5. That's slap from left, right, center.
Taxes be no more than 5.
More than 5. It do on my body na someone. It do on ma. So says all the time I'm there and na he didn't come on.
O time dem dey ma wo na me chance e fi Jerry,
what's it? Monitor na. Bibi.
Yankasa.
Chief Justice asemna okano. Enne wa wo so yeti bonkoso. Kra na mama ya bie wani abie wa adwene.
Kwan ben so.
O say Wamu a atwere nsɛm afa me ho nyinaa na nka mo ɛwɔ so mo de evidence ba ebe kyerɛ sɛ senti ne ɛka sɛ ifa maame ho ba kokora ni hɔ no
ɔno na ɔsie o
na Chief Justice me gini di pa ɔno ɔbɛ de twatoro
okay
yak obi with integrity maame toku no
the Council of State omun integrity
Council of State, NDC. NDC Council. NDC Council of State. And I say Ghana Council of State.
Ghana's Council of
State. How many
NDC
for?
Oh, how?
I'm going to be a chairman.
Madam Sophia for NDC. Former Chief Justice NDC.
No, I say we buy no so one understands.
No, but NDC.
They say, I say way. Someone go bunny the one understands.
The posts and everything should tell you.
Mamena are disassociating from this particular issue.
She abstained from voting on the prima facie.
Yes. I know what disassociating
because she's a former Chief Justice.
And so basically, and one who said, what you did, a deal with dinner. And yen de into no fan dubi. Or no, or ye Ghana ni. I'm first or ye neutral. Also, you know what free. One more, ye dum. A NDC Council of State. Ye him say, Obi Drew baby, your bomber. Echo far almost say, ye ma obi fufrobia and free baby me come on. Obia ni oye Ghana ni on NDC ni obeti ma beka Council of State elders no. Intino, your bomber, echo far former MPP chairman. But they never can. Ain't you know when a woman NDC chairman, when a woman also on NDC ni, Obia won't be NDC. Into NDC penny casa yen say, we only why say Obacasa on. It means you want the whole party to come after you. And unti, and omo it takes mami through ayaka dewi. I say. And someone more can de to Messunina no petitioners even no more asema ye dibia na say ye anya menkwa na me ye PM penny ametena asem so na say yamfa nipa ba ko no kotena asem so if you on my panel of 5 my minister said it in a press conference we ya and ne makoma to me mani ajepa say me sori koye demonstration e de boa maami. Esan sa asase no na nyina feel say entokwa no bia na nsem no mo start a bia na inkeketo bi be wo baabi but mami ama omani maguase hwe ade wei na nka nkoye in camera ena koye say life a ena ka be hu say sa to say the appointment committee ye hu bi a aka NDC governance kra no aka bi gu. Esan say, Uhama posture, anyhow, or battle assembly from almost side, no about Bechemu, Ama Obia and Tibi, no Bia Unu Ayakayaka dear, and nay, Botrimuka, nay, to say, Kotiquai or Mafas
Bostrimuka.
Oh, dear, Amon say Trimuka. And then Kotiquai or Mopaso Mofa, Edema me faso. Ejina Juma free and sem to just to prove unnecessary political points.
But we can say Chief Justice press conference or no. Sani bia hunu na beka because a one-sided story. The committee members cannot hold a press conference to tell their side. Ade no so ekoso okukuwa mu ntino. Your pe bia obeti na beka.
I am me against the world. Mhm. They are mami kai. It's a true woman kibinya the other side.
Ewen efri hin.
Yanti kuruma nom na jesi ayanya blogger a friend is blogger I in position in the crowd day. Blogger Attorney General. Yanti kuruma ni yehu sade we nyina bi Attorney General no atimi anya substantive matter was all the court now kokohwe ma ye jeli anase ye baji yesika afri obi a wa commit crime honom no ubo say blogger no mu e dia ba beto social media na ye he at the end of the day ye hunu dia beko akosi up till now nipa ora e produce wo mo Attorney General ntimi emfa dia ye beti ane say ba ku ye friend say NSSE National Service etina ya wie case ya de be enso ye hunu de free maba eno ane social media
social media.
Menewoka say the government is responding to Chief Justice press conference our year, not just a short while ago.
Government?
Yes. Now,
an answer committee.
The Honorable Kwachi Ofusu, Menewoka say, is addressing the nation through a press conference or Jubilee House. Or responded to and somewhat Chief Justice Akam.
Of a political motive to the president in respect of these processes are unfounded, they are false, and cannot be allowed to stand. And I wish to place that on record. As yet, absolutely no evidence of same has been furnished in any way, shape, or form. And therefore, I am minded to strongly reject that effort. Unfortunately, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice herself, has added to this commentary, which initially was the tone of elements of the opposition. And it is deeply regrettable that this should happen when the president has been above board and conducted himself in strict compliance with the Constitution of Ghana. The other point that I wish to also place on record is that the attempts to link the dastardly killings of some Supreme Court judges and a military officer to this case are most disingenuous. To begin with, this government and President Mahama have nothing to do with the killing of any judge. Second, there's absolutely no nexus between the petitions that have been brought and that unfortunate incident in our past. So any effort to link the two is regrettable and should not find space in this sort of discourse. It is most undesirable, it is most unacceptable. Now, the venue in question is the Edu Lodge. Yes, it is close to the Osu Castle, which used to be the former seat of government. That's how I speak. There are government agencies that operate there. So it is a public place. The Osu Castle is a public place. You can go there to conduct official government business. Beside it are private residences owned by Ghanaians who move freely in and out of their residence, even though they are situated very close to the Osu Castle. So the impression that a facility in the vicinity of the Osu Castle necessarily makes it intimidating or foreboding is completely misplaced. It is unfair. It is not justifiable. Now, Edu Lodge is a state facility which is often used to house high-ranking officials who visit the Republic of Ghana. It belongs to the states. The decision to use that place was not that of government or President Mahama. The committee requested that they needed facilities of a certain status that could house their activities and that could facilitate a smooth running of the proceedings. And that facility was available. It is equipped with modern amenities that will facilitate the work of the committee. And the state only offered it upon the request of the committee. Let me also state that that facility is not intimidating. It is like any regular state facility where business can be conducted to the extent that it is put in the right shape. Wherever these proceedings were held, it will still be in camera, as clearly stipulated in Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution. So that the proceedings are being held in camera is only in compliance with the Constitution. So it doesn't matter where it is held. And any security measure put in place is only intended to secure the place so that persons who are not authorized to be part of the proceedings do not come there and create any inconvenience. I believe that even if the hearings were held at the court's premises, it will still be under significant security controls to ensure that only authorized persons have access to the place. So to describe Edu Lodge in the terms that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, did was most unfair and unjustifiable. It seeks to obscure the process and bring in unrelated matters that seek to cast some aspersion or ill motives on government for affording the committee a place to do its work. As I indicated, we have no interest in violating the Constitution by going into the merits of the case. And that is why government has refrained. Let me put it on record that government itself has had cause, indeed the president himself had cause, to lament the way in which some correspondence around this matter got into the media. You will recall that the very first sign of any leakage was the letter that the Chief Justice wrote requesting for copies of the petition. Before the letter got to the presidency, it was in the media. And you recall that in the president's response, in which he also took the opportunity to forward the petition to her, we raised that issue, that it was not acceptable. Indeed, we had cause, the president had cause then to ask his executive secretary to mark the documents that were being sent to the Chief Justice in order to guard against any leakage. So at no point has anybody leaked anything. Also, it must be noted that even the media houses that first broadcast the content of these petitions were media houses that you can say are aligned to the opposition. And they are the ones who have gone to town with this sort of thing. So to attempt to cast aspersions on the presidency is most unfortunate, and it causes what should be a smooth process leading to the determination of the merit or otherwise of the petitions that have been brought. So in summary, I would say that what has happened today is most regrettable. And as government, or as the president, President Mahama is committed to upholding the rule of law. We cannot have a situation where, depending on who is involved, the constitution is set aside. All Ghanaians are equal before the law. In the same way that our courts have dealt with individuals in accordance to law, if members of the judiciary themselves are alleged to be engaged in some wrongdoing, the processes laid down and spelled out by the Constitution ought to be respected. And that is exactly what has happened. I thank you very much. If there are any questions that you have, you may ask them.
So,
yes.
The embattled Chief Justice made reference to veiled threats on her life, and much as you're concerned about sticking to the sanctity of the constitutional procedure she needs to go through, you should equally be worried about this threat on her life. What's government's response to the specific issue about threats on her life?
The Chief Justice, more than anybody else, perhaps in this country, should be aware of the platform that is available to address such threats. Kamala, if today somebody sends you a threat, you know exactly where to go to seek redress in the matter. And that is what I would say about it.
Okay,
yes,
so you've heard the response of government to a suspended Chief Justice press conference, and this press conference by government, is led by the spokesperson to the president and the government, the Honorable Kwachi Ofosu. Samre, in some trofoni busa questions as to the statement now or the
two.
Oh, say your busa.
Bibi, fellas.
Abai are rejected at dismissing the claims no ye nina kase enina so bia.
Yo, ye na ye TSM digesting some ne de. Mama na sem no kan no. Ink wo mu send their fellas back aí.
Okay.
Na fellas there no kan. Wan ka hwe o.
E bia no enti no.
Oh. Time out boy there nyina he wasn't able to even say Mami say kwadu amode ball me nyina evidence ba ko nie. Na menim say all kan ho no evidence. Na menim say nko be ka say yatimi anya one
to the evidence ni nie.
Ba ko pesi from even one petitioner. Nanti wo mami asem obeka here was there is no evidence. Also by want me and produce evidence ba ko. Inti na sa press conference here wa boka yi. So far so say. Sikana no more say no.
because yakukuru iska de amano kakraka de amano something very menial and we presented their my every way because of whisker. Hey, Ghana sika no mo hwe you ofusuku ache is wasting our money because this bogus press conference we there we say we share na budget that's when is kaketwa say omra meka bibia keke in case of this banning
we budget being the presidency has a press corps. They are always on standby. And to just assemble them and talk to them. Where cabin.
A china no bisa.
Mate.
Bibi, he has just wasted our time.
Young call the new patriotic party ni muna yewe and Papa Kufuor Canadian actually party ni pa and from the reactions I no timuse and someone ato party for na come swama me no ka say dodo na ka say omu betie ne papa na ka ebeboa party no his emphasis grassroots religious and tribal bigotry waka ho asem o say wo mu hwehwe obi a owo integrity enye obi a oyisikani wo ye LPG ni MPP no hu ni sense ya
papa na ka ni nyina asema me tena ha no ma de bia na meeting ba bia meko bia de ameka ne say MPP should stop wasting time on omo edwa manum omo ekeka nsem na akeke me ade ba ko na mempe o Dr. Baumia ho
why then
I say oh yeah too gentle too soft yeah
konye den ondidi atem
da bia nya sa
onti etiem
enye ntetiemu de
papa wasa o stage so sa hurihuri a de ne soft mo fasi ama me nyina no ka so soft
na mo fasi ama me no ja
oje by force mo fasi ama me mo fasi are ma me
bibi
sebe na kana say Dr. Bamia soft
Crawford attacking it
amano
and Crawford attacking it personally me Drew baby na me hu ne say we gentle bibria itwifa also and nothing na me ye bi mu say they can ride over him now, but may I see something softness na apart from no I see say he stands a better chance in MPP than any other person.
J. Kufuor was said to be a gentle giant.
But
Professor Mills was equally cool and collected.
Yeah.
Yet they governed, and almost time when you know we are
and America said, "Baby,
how is it the problem?"
Baby, and to Kwane was here. They are all yes here and Isha. I was saying more.
Okay.
Because
one year doing in particular.
More attacking the personality.
On Kevin Chiro.
Na me meti wono mu ba beka me asa wo fa ho ndi.
So no be an temperament.
Okay. Entina make say eye me yase onte sa. Nanka omo a hwe papa yi dia NDC akafo ne ho nyino maka wi. Ena Nancy asem bi okan ya eye me depa o say obi a yede akofina hye ne nsem amana sua wo Ghana ha sei bia no. Oje akofina ne fi obi one na call election da. Yama omo eya kakabensam kekansem akese no enka bi ni ntie. Se dia asibia no. Dia asibia. He contested and dia yebe sopa nipa bia ya sopa na wi.
Oh yeah, sure.
Echina then na me party bitimi aka kire MPP with Baumia. Then na NDC bitimi aka kire MPP with Baumia. Don't make a be o maka wi.
Me past record or
past. Then why
his performance in government.
He did not
economic management.
He did not govern Ghana. He was a substitute which the right person never got sick. And we now opportunity to govern Ghana for even 3 months.
Dr. Baumia is said to be the luckiest vice president ever because
Akobium.
No, yes, Akobium because on only vice president and the president, a man with the room to operate.
Do you think so?
Why not?
I don't think so.
Now, why digitalization? I would do to know who or Kobania the idea. Oh, we are man of Quankoye.
Digitalization is a more a canal, baby. A Juma no or more ashe. And now, or more diso, and udi animu. Or more na ye Juma na kasa. No more.
His claim to fame is digitalization. Dr. Bamia's claim to fame
is digitalization. Me idea me de pen asem. I stands against e-levy. And nam say na oni anointi no. Went me anya ho hwe. He at least we all heard say he opposed it at our cabinet a couple of times. No more debate to honum biana. He was against it because no opinion no about bonting about because taxation, you know, and you know the way to the problems. And you know, say the right and the real contester. Yeah, they a judge papa we are. It's neither here nor there because if you have a finance minister, or no supersede obibia activity, one would enter local government. Omo MMDCs omo share na the omo complain say omo pa no mo ehu anto omo aban mu nso omo na ye agent of development onim de ntia basa they were not getting the opportunity to even use their brain adena yakuku osoro ene de ba be impose e de amount you either join or opt out nema ni bi ohonoma MPP for they cannot tell. Akufo-Addo and Kanufuriata were doing all. Internet, that is their problem. They should stop blaming Baumia for all these problems. This petty problem. Omuntiminka, but yabe yehu yenti yabeka. Omu ene problem no. Say a whole ministry. Say ope sikakra de aye. Ajuma bia. Finance Minister Bekasi Bini Onoma. There's no way you can get that job done. And we heard occasionally, severally, say, Omo person mo ye bibi Finance Minister is not with it. Intina cannot happen. This bia was Finance Minister. Until we were not having we were not having other people operating. Now you're president and then the finance minister. And I know you say omo ye bibia. Into bibia anko ya. Omo ne was here this one bomo. We shouldn't blame somebody whose voice wasn't heard. And now say on take a decision in any way. On take a decision bia.
Take a decision beyond the me know who I
was say that was how they governed.
Na Ghana Post GPS. Dr. Baumia. What you know the or the innovation aba. Medical drones. What you know or the aba. 1D one hospital and also so wajafa. The digitalization it woka say he couldn't take decisions. He was not allowed. He didn't have a voice. It sounds like an afterthought. More candidatunko for Trimuna.
I said, "Yeah, na the me could MPP jina." I said, "Many MPP ni made them who here as Liberal Party General Secretary, and I make a theatre we."
And what's the more what can I mean?
And because I make now they generalize. I said, "Any MPP for na kwese baby na." Maybe can say.
And so what can be my Dr. Baumia?
Yes,
and I make sure say, and you know,
because they are who you know, they are
you know, then who saw no be a man of kind. The Dr. Baumia be complaining say, me see me yes say yo na almost so mama me kwan yo ti bi da. Did you ever hear him complain?
And then I make a choice say e-levy or opposition or
na e-levy kwan ni asem e to Ghana ha.
There are so many things bia.
na den na e-levy the okotina radio station so kire na adwene wo ho na other policies e ba ya e affect your mind negatively one man me kire mu say we susu na me nka ho bi
nema bebre wo ho no ma hwe aye team ade and sometimes yamma asem ne da for the sake of a collective adwuma
ene no ma kire ene no o se Dr. Bawumia ba bontin be ka se na me simpapanyin vice president ne ma me nye hwe
bibi anka se simpapanyin onye president or vice president ena me ka se president anyare bosome miensampo ena ye jagana de man say ono super vice everything ena aka say ye de man wanye no kana say president ka say there bia there no be. Are we forgetting that as a fact? Ono e ka bibi na say president ka say there bia obetimi de by force.
So enka no entirely
president na ya to
entirely say ya man no kwan his voice was not heard. Meanwhile, he has claims to fame. Our claims to fame from the same government.
Or the buyer, ya jitumu.
And Kasa, his voice was never heard.
And I make Kasa.
And Kasa, he didn't have a mistake.
Or the buyer, ya jitumu no. Edia or my. Now the buyer, yanja tumu. And no make.
Or match and your debate. Apart from 11, no match and your debate be more money.
On your opportunity now.
When you be brave, when your opportunity.
What could be some?
That won't, eh?
What could be some?
That's what Kasa in public platforms. Thank you to another one church and
Obi Bisano.
I know ni sabo kan obi na ebusa no
said there or no
person obeka and na den no dey want choose so obeka
and I drew on man na mo amako awuni na akokasa asem no me nya opportunity ameka chene on churches asem ni mu nka ho but se one man okure no ana said there ye hu ye no and ameka se sia no and this dom de be ye ni bi omo de aye na wi wo hu de amechi
e no de me hunu ni sa o
de mbiem.
The issue of competence will never go away if he is the one going to represent the NPP.
He is not. He wasn't the president for even a day.
He wasn't
the president for even a day.
But do you think side and a convincing Ghana for? A convincing Ghana for that 40-something percent or the
MPP for. Ejitum sena onye president. They will go out there and let the people who are going to vote understand that Dr. Bawumia hasn't gotten the opportunity to be president.
And now can MPP for Ankasa 2024. No, said Dr. Bawumia and you no yam and penny. No, Ghanaians rejected it.
Omantimi Anchrim, sir. Omokai, but Omanchrim, because na president in the war, and you don't want to be in the bad books of the president. Intino untiminka, but neno ubetimi aka. Because the president is no more. Otisa kanepeni kufo de ya wabekai. Waka wi oko President Akufo-Addo ono so obeka ne de wi oko. Enti na omo e wo honom sesia no. Sesia kanema mpani Akufo-Addo. Ukọ na wa ukọ na wo se okopa futu. But ukọ ye se ono megini awa chi meye bibi mfama wa. Emwa. Ana megidi pa se sankaye kanema mpani Akufo-Addo na ne President Mahama eco contest na. Anka President Mahama wouldn't be the president.
Oh, really? 2024. Okay. Okay, Bebo, what's this Sanka Nanado ne John Mahama ne 2024? Anka John win. Then it means Dr. Bawumia is a bad candidate.
I'm a person say.
Then you are saying Dr. Bawumia was a bad candidate for the MPP.
Tiasama make kaniye. Way our control over no. Waba ene na abaye but we eba ye no na onyanya sa control no afa na waba bepem ena ato ntia wakogada momentum na o de ba sisi a no sa momentum we no eba e change wo hwe
first one momentum
sa wutim bi ena make say sabre na wutim no untimi nko because wo obi a untimi nkasa enko kana adwuma oye ya anyeye but this time around no obetimi aka because na there is no leader or chenwo say wo na leader no
but he's coming to
Okuta MPP no as the flag bearer no na MPP that's one the president or that's the boss now obetimi akọ criticize the boss
Untimen criticize.
Nancy, I thank you, Tony. So I can bear me no me and say. How they criticizing. And no, Nanko Honum, that other one can Sabrina no your campaign.
And they say only balls.
And yes, how.
And before someone here,
who bet me at Hanum,
Obi o sinipi.
And your boss as him.
Obi o sinipi.
Ma, Utinanum na ya, we see near Mapino. Bet me out to be ama, or you
men told man by your committee no was semi chiramadria, make come and
I know not how I dream we na say, yentia. I don't mean at all.
No, son, me babeshia, me team, me doma noa. Me more Matias, yes, me kokaye.
Na say ni team no, ni team no.
No, no, me train you kokaye yenti.
Ni team no na kabia me ate say 11 o pursue ye. And then some ni nyina so na wo kandinia.
Jerry, what is your interest?
Me interest in say. Ye here a very strong opposition. Me opposition. Me here almost na the major opposition, the bigger one. Say yeah then na nye ya you be falling on because you see no aban na nya kura Ghana e brepa e kwamo de Ghana for pa hwe mountain so car kura ntwam enso yesi ate petrol so car se nyina park
enye no kure
bibi
oba wan fa car ma
ko cycle
oba wan fa car
ko cycle na hwe car se na mo traffic okrum there's no traffic in town
enso sa na ye e bi na MTT before yo madwuma ye traffic in Kroma say ya na be say dey be eja me
afi be so na wo be di bronya na uji incentives bonuses wa kachi anom na we say okotoko kufu a obi agi bi no ya na traffic in Krom
say nya bronya mre mu ne wo no enya bronya mre mu ne
nya me kira say sika wo Krom ena nije wo Krom ena ahoto wo Krom a say a wo ko joint kura nipa 3 netwo enso kaneno na nipa ne chapo ne dem
mate
ye giani all the amateur no enso niama na enye na nyina me da so gira me na so enya nkrofo bi nti ena me ka say me nkonko ya me hu yi pa hwe
Mama Lucy me ko Philipo
ewiase no
there is easy electricity so across
yes obobra dru ba bia me ka say aban na nye no aban on say
fesi ho Mamen call Philip so maybe electricity tariffs no. Philipo, let me hear you out on your own party eniemu ensemo.
Senior mechia na wase wo no law no beso be pacho so ye law second time aka.
Second time aka ni.
Yeah, because we are bon say asme hu bibi na mekai. You need to study law.
Mate.
It will help.
Mate.
Meet me trankasa.
Meda wase no wefutu. Oze.
Road tuition.
Meet me.
Ontimi ntu akra wa hye me nkran.
Meet me ngasa menchi abli.
Na juma we no I know dey nya na.
Onka senye. Se meet me ye juma san. Philip ko animu a.
Meet me ngasa menchi eye Ablikuma West. Mechia youth especially the vibrant youth of Ablikuma West. Na machia constituency executives chairman William Adu machia the youth executives ni machia so mon kama ko antom ye machia emuye na ye beji seat no very soon na mpani Ford is share go na kom ebeboa yen na oka sanjare de no mfi so bedi ni fia sempa na osukra sin Ukraine no and menim so ni bibia ye nim dia I will be asked several questions, but answer me penama. Your part in my President Kufuor, or your Obia Sebi, your partner or your asset to this country, and your partner will be a partner. Don't why you need to talk. Asabiana, a coffee ye, and I respect me. Nim any day, any time. Party person, I say President Kufuor Sentinel, and Chinano and go from.
Yeah.
But I didn't meet my try, can I say, every political party is formed to win political power. As I say. So, you have a pack but I feel, say, every season, biano, and leader who produce another neighbor. And I also believe, say, would they, as a political party, would be bar, we should be a year or mine, a dono. What I say, no money be accepting, no be no popular. So You can have a lion only a year in pimpum, a kind of saying in pimpum. And you can also have giant only the lion pimpum. Which have been out here 2 pictures you can determine the kind of leader or DNA.
Group or bear strong.
Group or bear strong.
And a group I be strong.
You be strong. When you be na jata the anymore. No, when you be a jata be brain grind the anymore. You can imagine. So at this point, college, the bigger we say, constituencies and electoral, Jaron just to the team. You understand? What one credit say?
Jata ono de bia na nu mato so. Wo da meri jata. Ko ni.
You see, constituencies in electoral college in Ihonesan, based on your constituency, polling station executives. I'm going to take a decision. To you understand? So I feel say, but the fact is, by the job day grounds.
Yeah.
What does it? Manchia dache hine honorable Kennedy or in Japan.
Okay.
Chen Papa Babia will be no your chair grassroots force a chair. And the youth of this country so chair.
Are complaining about top bottom approach in
Epa. You see, me maybe I'm what I see. You're too free form in free, you win.
Oh, okay.
A youth organizer. Georgianda constituency frozen. If maybe Eugene, yeah, I've been there. I can give you numbers for you to check. Personally,
honorable
I've been there. Engaging youth.
I'll check the name for you.
I've been to Ablekuma Central, Ablekuma West, Ablekuma South. If you have them, my friends, I check you out. And assignment I remember. Or assignment I remember say, "Oh dear, obi team biano." What is I want to engage youth? Makwa 10.
MPP youth.
No, Ghana youth.
Okay.
Makwa 10. And you at least 6 or 7. I'm not sure they prefer Kennedy.
Okay.
It's amazing because political parties are formed to win political power. One person needs to capture the power for the party, for all of us to enjoy. You understand? Your papa, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, is a man I respect so much. But like I said, every season, Biane, leader, is so leading. For Burkina Faso, the example. Shall be a branch free buyer, and the whole Africa will be a hilly man. But you can say, neighbor contest, you can say, on your lawyer, on your this, on your that, they won't allow him. Look at our government institutions. We hear someone like, or your honest and a holy anger. We're able to put such places in order. Go to Kolebu, you have the likes of Papa Kufo, Anya Respectano, Tamils, and so many professionals. Then what are you seeing now? And then yes, I did say politicians, but you share the real issue. No, the politicians they are best of passage. They come and go, but office Kolebuna the institutions now, and you must say each and every day. No, what are you doing about it? For me, I think there's a businessman who has seen it all in terms of business management and so forth. Are you able to come in to bring sanity and order to your institutions with my pijano? So I feel say this is the first time.
Is it a question of leadership or a businessman?
Leadership. Not saying the leadership in the day. I'm to establish this kind of thing. Now I feel say we are president.
There is one thing being a successful businessman, and another being a successful political leader. Two different things. The rules within the corporate world are different from the political world.
Because no legislature. All free soon the seat went to
the management.
Okay.
Management. You understand? You have your ministers and we are president. You understand? BBN is too quite say as to go to Kolebu and see what is happening and change certain things.
Tamils did it.
You get it. So management. It's not really about being the president. Not we say now policy maker.
But Jacob can see me an area. Or say party no. And yes, you can in a muhia. Muhi obi wa integrity. Usu say na o kaken ho asema na.
No. You're not ho asema no.
Jerry Mbusao.
I think so.
Mbusao.
No, I think so.
Medum ne mic.
Skadia obia obi.
Enyo obia ne obi.
Jerry mama no see. Oh, Charlie control Jerry na.
Medum ne mic into kan asem.
See, Skadia obia obi. Obi de na do so obi. Ye bra champion. So Ska.
Ehye no ho.
Oja se. Ken Uska. Eye Dr. Modern Trinchos on Niska.
Oja.
Etin ho asem no oka. Omu nyina Uska. Obi no Niska.
Oh, Jerry Jani, oh, ye now Casano, ye din, and how when the mic no medum no. Just focus on me. Tie, Philip, Obi Antin count. You're no canning in our
distracting me. You understand? DMB, Obi Antimikaso Niska.
Oh, yeah.
I provide for 8 years.
Campaign, I wage you
exactly. Brad Champ, Obi Antimikaso Niska. Oja say Kennedy Sobian so the investment channel say I put 20 for them apart no so just here but me as me kind no fact every political student knows this political parties are formed between political power and I me bube it is a person capture power there sabi say bibi wa otie and I party ne feel say who bet me the power man ya on so the by power no I don't think most constituencies they lose seats no MPs no because you impose it be on people's neck. You understand? But the popular person in the constituency they pen no and you no yeah and the man you lose a lot some seats. It's no the mesmeti no sabi I say when you born a boy so ni hwe.
Yeah.
Yeah the foot to free form or the man at the cut top at the mom say that's what the youth are saying. Now me I believe say after about 2 president primaries na you know you call me here and you have conversation. You see, in penny for Kasa, and be a munina by a free reorganization. Say party uluzua, so year assessment, or year rebranding, up to 2 year my year. And Yaman about to tunnel, as in Yama, bit me, Ama Sabi, partner ya kono, because uluzu such marginal. Nama Yama be or Dobian Grafon air conform. As the Meganasi. You need to do a reorganization, you know. It's a me and you bit my attract for be some more crab at Ghanaian. Or because you're in party, Ujina. You should PG or CBP as well. You name in your on our site.
I feel I'm a party. I'm
Obibia, on also name party, also Rabbi Ghanaian.
Move Puchimiana.
A lot of policies need free education. You made the go come. Now you're trying to say within 8 years or 7 years, free education. We are thinking say we are going to get all the numbers, but then they were numbers in your. I think say part no trust the share in your now you penny for so me jomudi MPP yen wrong. You been wrong, yen said that say yen wrong. You do the right thing and make sure say the party will come together and coming 2028 we win the power again. And I said 7th January 2029. First time by they will swear MPP in as a.
And who will be sworn in as president for the MPP?
Honorable Kennedy, Japan. You see,
oh,
Samaka. And I make sure say, social media never forgets. Say YouTube.
Yeah, I think.
It's that's what I'm saying. It will never go down. You understand? It will try to say a year 2029, 7 January. The best honorable Kennedy or in Japan in as the next president of the Republic of Ghana.
I see.
And you see, your Maya and Yama youth no in Yen no. You feel say this season or no ena Ghana hiano. This season. Your lawyers are
what is it about this season? A Kenmre.
Okay.
What makes this season Ken season?
This season, a year, the youth are complaining of unemployment.
Okay.
You understand? No direction. JDM crowd there, Baba saying cry.
what the Jumera project about, or the apprenticeship program about, nano, had the number of young people as salary.
Can I shock you? Can I shock you?
With what?
Me, now me why you district director. Program we start any apprenticeship.
That's what was.
And I make sure say,
yeah, grab the number we BM.
Make sure say a jandam. How do we know them?
It's more a jandam.
Make sure someone the jandam. Me district director. But next to me bar, but the evidence be bro. Crawford you recruit to employ business support. Anyone Crawford CPA apprenticeship. Omo don't go suya a fashion and designing. Okwa dance man, you have master bia o ye fashion designer.
O se ene honorable Canada Japan e mebunu nu su for adwuma. Na ne mo sha ase Jomahama ye tirimu a. Jandam no wen.
And I make a sure say.
Na mo de na jandam tu so no so ye jandam.
No, me customers asem so say. Me customers asem say. O say or the adwuma rare balance from say it has been there. I go so ye. And I make say e ye honorable Canada ohina Japan.
E den na man no no de na jandam.
John Mama there. The year make sure say on no buy cry bobo. Come up with so buy or create unemployment. It's not employment. To buy and go find where you madi. You promise the Ghanaian youth as we create 3 shifts. Obi query to be from Mabuna Jumam. Okay, in the Bank of Ghana.
That's what for Jumam.
Oh, I ain't for no from.
And I make sure we apprenticeship program.
And I make sure say
there are scores of people.
What's that committee? Me say a programmer you go so run.
And yet time e buy and I make ho asem. E wo ho oye.
Bibi. Ma make sure the reason why I'm so creative unemployment no.
Oh, minim so so oyi nkofo edi.
No, me ba me
check oyi nkofo edi no so ofa nkofo so.
Me chiro mu. Say eye MPP aban na wo can you be edi. Kado ye no still continue.
Because mo na mo fa wo mo adwuma mu.
No, and I make say
se mo anfa kwampa so anfa wo kra na obi enu ho oba begina mo.
Kwampa ne de we. De na enye kwampa de na kwampa. Ka kire me. Aban bia no se to abama o. Where you know and did the down hand over am the next person. Meboa.
The Bank of Ghana say omo ye fa omo December 2024 no. Omo ye omo probation review no. Bebre mo number. Bebre no so nye qualified. Bebre nye nkofo mbetimi aboa bank.
One can say something true.
The governor.
The governor.
Yes,
they make a choice say omo ka to abonten ka kire Ghana for say omo bamba pamu omo ya for madwuma nyina. To omo action no manum asem ene ejina so. Ba o ka so double shift na ba be double shift no. Aden one fa also fan crop a. O fan crop for na na ebia January ebi kwanopa omo pon 12 ebi akopon 6 ebi akọ amache.
I know they say July number launch. 24-hour economy no July number launch.
Oh, if I also launch in Temaport.
Obey.
Enya hope.
And I see a launch for the nation. How launch you obey?
No, see.
What you need this or
na pacho MPP ni ana.
That be me
who defend Dr. Baumia.
Oh, Dr. Baumia say ostanding tall.
Several who defend MPP obi abusa so MPP ni ana.
Na busa
uni na juma ni say maybe play the devil's advocate. I know you wasem. Ontimi nyane de wo wasem.
Ontimi. See, ese agrobe da ifranajo. Ifranopa. Na ohwe eye NDC poster. No mo nyema you can tell. Omo yenim omo yere dada no omo. Ye no mo ye no mo na tra eye fufu asididi. You know the share of Bassi, you know share so them after programs very hard you preach general secretary after programs you know man the transiting come in fact sometimes NDC be program almost maybe me sure say ye ni mom they have nothing to offer. See, now make assembly. Ma o ya mahiti. Me party assembly sabi ye di efiasem. Ena penifo akasa who am I? O just here. And I believe say you better to nyema. Na me de me gina kanyema me hu free from one. So then chem free nsuo mu. E be ka cho say
bomotichi
so asi be ka say odan chem wu a eni achiye. Timia grassroots from one ebe ka cho say me ka so Jerry Bondere to say eye Kennedy ohina Japan be wini menye we say see eye obia ne choice oba party no
aba won to be
obia won to there
obi a no to be say ono ne kan ne so e
mo fa and me cho say obia oba party no Ebi some support to DMB.
Yeah.
Oba party ni ma, obi so support to Dr. Duchu.
Who's almost dog?
Oba party ni ma, obi so support to Brian Champon. Even some support to Kenahina Japan. Obia ne choices. It's the way we need about together. You have support no. The reason why you be on the choice is say obia ne you and your feel say. In fact, your party ni no. I say class of excellence. Oja say obia exactly as Real Madrid. It is a party na Sebi. Players no omo boy team ko betra bench no. This one no. The last time I heard this ni be share radio so. And I'm sure if you got John Mahama, the president no DNA by grace. Because now the vice president crown, the founder of the party, crown said, on spot of vice president go qualify. Now you see Betty Drusu and a number of vice president. And the pay for Pachoana obey vice. The Fufian Twata, Yura Mills, Ephraim.
Jonathan Mills made his choice.
And I'm sure say, and look, I found Danny, I agree, me bois, just me bois. The founder now of force I know who are dear no. As a power dear unqualified to be a vice president. What does it? It can now never be chosen by grace. And Mills, a man may so rest in peace. What does it? It's a mature part, no, and then a big crab was educated in. Oh, my
Kaida, John Mahama as running mates, Emma Professor Mills. Rollins was supposed to be at the event. Yaman a time when we do. Do you any you never? I feel what you're trying to nisa. I know one because Uncle Baby and Carrian came also.
Do I confirm as American? It will not be present by grace.
But today, that person and no one or the NDC about back to power.
And I'm control say, you see, the Ghanaians voted against. And just on porno.
They voted for him.
They voted against MPP.
And so they voted for.
It's not as if said
it was a matter of choice. Me too my way I'm about my 20 hour.
As someone me say they voted against MPP. Not necessarily looking at the option. Jericho now around that time come to Abama. Who are come to Abama? Because na sabi yenyema be an MPP near you know. Na ya. To the extent some Tescon executives.
You are saying the thing as if say MPP one and then ya kono keke.
Now
as if say John Mahama had no pluses or they back to the ticket.
First of all,
no. After 2024, na Ghana for enya a better opportunity to assess the two parties. Omatena NDC ase 8 years. Omatena MPP ase 8 years. Oma compare performance. And who said back on now to twene no. Far better than we.
And you know credit.
Oh really?
And you know credit. Come presidential primaries no. You heard commentaries against John Mahama. We did our own part then they to mafia. It's kind of around that time no. On mafia before. You understand? Now no. Almost John Mahama can on your choice. So you understand? Shahawa defeat of Sapphire 2016. And I'm sure say any time no.
Sorry.
Not COVID. COVID needs so many factors be brave. I'm to the party na
problems in
1 year.
Obama buying.
1 year exactly. Say young year we say.
Now complaining about problems are now person saying.
1 year. 1 year. Na government institutions ko ananya active. Na buying still triangle foka. Na ye did trogu Ghana for so near the taxes near mubo bi levy. Utrabet. Utrabet. Yenya ti obi utrabet o. But mo can say as bet no e ya dia na ekum Ghanaian youth. But me utrabet. Meaning several friends on utrabet. And on buy your taxes on their boy team the next almost 5 months on bar power. Almost 5. You understand? I'm no can say cry no. Almost fair July. Almost have been increasing electricity tariffs 2.45. How does it make sense? Abaya waba
VAT is 15.
Abaya waba. You see,
VAT 15. Omo impose 15% VAT on
non-life insurance. Intenye VAT no.
Emi de okra kasem no say emi de say. Emi de say.
So say me chire me because who can obi be kwakwa say hey ya to VAT mu by 15%. That's
you see
technical knockout.
You see
Koso.
You see omo buy e so.
On so ECG dey no so.
Oh, me
say o koso na Jerry so can be sorry so.
Oh, okay. Me can tax omo buy within 4 to 5 months. Me ma me oti year crassy baby. Ne me nana onim de ekoso no. Na be say remind you the Ghanaians. Omo mo take trotro mo mo tie. Omo buy ye mo de road levy. Mo de ba.
And then road levy.
And then road to. Mo so mo de ba. Yeah, I don't say sustainability levy. And also mo de ba. Mo pick from 1% to 10%. No mo de ba. Mo say mo de long life insurance and property. And I ne personal chichi mo. On my company na for. And also no mo sanso de ba 10% from 1% to 10%. Mo de doom so levy and ya hold on. But there are parliamentary jail 2 ni there. E bet ma akoda. Best one of the mo pia tum. Na free omoji. Mo the ECG. Mo the kind of share trim 14.75%. And I'm the to Ghana for so ye gusu tia.
Mo nim ni omo come to that. Sir, ECG 14.5%, no. Almost say a mo. IMF arrangement among you koye. And I criticize there no. Mo akwaja to say every quarter bia mo be review tariffs upwards with IMF. Inti say ne omo to program no so a. Yen kan kire Ghana for some and na makwa but you know this already.
No, I'm only asking you.
No, but you know this already.
Me name to be Bissau. Una agent in Bissau. You see,
I have interviewed several NDC people.
You see,
I am reflecting to you the defense on that matter. And who need me you are aware. Say tariff increment, is a IMF conditionality.
You see,
one and a agreement in Ghana.
You see, Bibi.
Yes, sir.
Say yenuanum NDC for say utioma. Santa baby sound say sanko for we no kren sama ne kan de bia say Santa nyambe bobon sam na yakwaso dem a ye boliti sum pae no na Jesus Christ beba na obon sam no we here ye be cheni na top member of NDC.
Okay.
Enyo obi anwanwa because omo yakrofom ta double tank they can sit down calculate the lies and put it out.
Which one is the lie?
You understand? Talking about even what tie omo communicators. Ye de ebi say Esla. Ye de Esla koji.
In this matter, which one is the lie?
No, asma omo ka ese ye de eka IMF conditionalities no. Me, I sit here and say enya no cre. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why they are saying this. Now, otia no the 14.75. Other Ghanaian na sabi. Na ochire na ujira campaign platforms say Ghana for ochire omukomu bu. To ba abesevu amomkoma ham. O buy what slap you already 14.7% and this is how you are defending yourself. We are also the 4.20%. Every Ghana for so muntia. Yes, I could die. What's also the ECG say babiem? As a Ghana for will be able to 2.5% on ECG. Meanwhile, because you're lazy now and incompetent, you don't know how to collect your bills. We know how you move around to take it's also so yeah, and you are boom to crew.
Who doesn't know how to collect their bills?
No ECG company.
Mm-hmm.
Now also yes, they are bringing this lady because they need money. And I'm a but see can I general and you go for do seek free. Go certain areas. How illegal is going on?
More the cash waterfall mechanism but you were not disciplined enough to allow it to work.
That's why they voted us out. That's why you voted out. It won't buy ya or catch a Ghana for say we a better option. It wait my but by ye and make Uja Park national. Who got Ghana for say the taxes say banners for him yeah. Okay.
Oh kafra. No monsieur.
Okay ya ko say China COVID free buy a crown. Omo nye COVID levy. Etina o ba be COVID levy. And Mr. Mama ti Jubilee also wakana no atum eguso ji COVID levy. These are the people you are talking about. You understand? Etina me cho say this ni who share listening. No share listening. Not one na who share bonsama on one who share no. They are full of lies. They are hypocrites and they can say anything. And the communicators, oh show ma every radio station.
as your robot and you said to him, Munya say him koka, no moka. You understand?
Okay.
But I believe say you're to Abamau now bar. You're to Abamau now bar. You're to Abamau say be show nyema na magana for ekomu enyom. Now I know say the next MPP government with new leadership you come and make sure say Ghana be crabberry.
Jerry, I mean to you on the other matters, ECG tariff going up by 2.45% and 15% VAT on non-life insurance. Bra.
NDC for also almost a day.
One thing I
can IMF conditionality. Aha, na IMF no. Omo review a enye.
Anadia waji atumu de dano.
So aban foforo na aba. They can go and negotiate.
Okay, so maybe say IMF omo ma conditionalities. Wo na wo de o homegrown solutions seba.
So who their MPP here?
Na omo aji atumu e de
who their MPP here with IMF?
Omo ye den.
Omo call ye na omo ba in 2017 na omo beto ye. They said say omo ye campaign kese pa say they would not agree with the ana ekoso or NDC with IMF. Until they went back to renegotiate. Akopem say omo di free IMF. And omo sa ko bi. Omo ko bi no and omo akogege ne ma atum. That time kan man pani jo mama. No say omo ntia say MPP san call IMF. Until what is preventing them? Say omo be call back for renegotiation. Maybe there is something going on. Your friend book be a kind be Animal Farm. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
2 legs bad.
2 legs good, 4 legs bad. Say yene ya pa. Obi foforo be ya enye. Hwe bone MPP for idi Ghana nyina no. NDC for na kire wo. Yen ton ye japade and I am for Japade nkusi awowa. It started from NDC. Yengu yenyuma na yenkra nema in famra Ghana. It started from NDC. MPP ba no ababa shimukena because who say NDC for year no obi anka ho hwe. Adwuma mempese ma tip din biom APURC. Omo board yajanto account. Ejuma bone pa ejuma fon omo nye hwe mfamwa Ghana for. No, they are not regulating nothing.
Yeah, you can make that point.
But that is no, I don't know mo yen enya papa.
No, it is
enya papa. Okay, ejuma bone.
We penia o man. Kasasa.
Kasa enti fon nya kasa.
Enya kasa de, enya kasa pa.
President, I know, Mammy,
agency, Adia, now Casa phone says,
President Mahama, word,
PURC is established by an act of parliament.
Intinanya America.
Obet me a castle, Debbie, a casa Jumani, and I catch your man for. I mean, so as a platform,
okay, my chance.
When you're more agree about my casa Juma. It is not proper.
Some mechano, person tears as
the person be tears as someone, but my own use expression.
Yo. Media kasa yesu free and penning for now at the phone Monsieur Free President Mahama or bra no your campaign
so you are the pay free penning for her him
lawyer be afraid means ya intina
be abeti bia no asua no
me
anaden
means ya President Mahama papa intina sa asem na me kan ya na so won't ya said PURC what are they regulating?
Make that point. And I want to hear you out on
say,
that one.
What are they regulating? They are just there and they just do not care about the consumer.
Bia de be no man stamp so.
What are they regulating? They are just rubber stamp. And omugu onum. And omo yenema basa. Ghana need ye oni say.
Okay.
Sure, it is only Ghana. And what we do sika. Aquacoto electricity. Now we use you. Now electricity for us omoma we use you. And so we regulator man kabi ma. We regulator man kabi ma o. PURC. Omaduma. And Anka was says say do can apa also money break because consumers no here but omo dia say ya to ade anim no mo dia ba hwemu say omo so na announcement
Jerry,
are they there to make announcement or they are there to regulate?
They are there to regulate.
And are they regulating?
They are obviously not happy with their kind of
No,
work.
they are not regulating nothing.
Jerry Owusu, a general secretary, my LP Jamanyo. Philip Jima, Ablekuma West Constituency Youth Organizer, Emma, the New Patriotic Party. Yatonsa Fred Kobe Williams, or NDC ni, for some reason he could not make it into Ubusa. Enchirichimu enono. Bidene Bismark Brown, mene Reynolds Yawajima in the Dijumediana Bro, supported by Joyce, who has been ensuring see a streaming live. Up next, a happy Kasiabo Nunsiandiano.
Na Kasiabo no dia pa.